sinners find us, we won't hide. They'll come loud and they'll come fast, but we shoot first and we can last. Keep your rifle by your side, singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. So we'll take a stand, 'cause we must protect our land. Keep your rifle by your side. There'll come day and there'll come night, they'll have our children in their sights, but if they don't have faith, their eyes are blind. They can scream, they can shout, but they can never smoke us out. Keep your rifle by your side, singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When we hear the voice, we know we have no other choice. Keep your rifle by your side. They'll have bombs and they'll have tanks, 'cause they've got money in their banks. But we won't fall as long as we can fight. They'll go on and preach their hate, but they won't get past the gate. Keep your rifle by your side, singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. And when I see your face, I know I must protect my place. I'll keep my rifle by my side. I'll keep my rifle by my side. Oh Lord, keep your rifle by your side.
Good morning, Foxtrotters. Happy Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. Happy week, happy week. Let me turn this down just a little bit here. Ooh, boy. Ooh. Let me turn this down on my end, too. Man, that's a little loud. Ooh. Oh, that'll wake you up. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Halfway through the week here. Not really much going on. I've got a test tonight. It's we don't have like a final proper, but this is the last test, so it's kind of a big deal. But you know, pretty much after this, it's just all smooth sailing up until Christmas. So that's gonna be pretty nice. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get this morning kicked off here, because I've found a ton of stuff this morning. So I woke up at like 4:30, but I went to bed pretty early last night. I think I went to bed at like 10:30. And woke up at like 4:30 and, you know, kind of baffed around or just screwed around in the morning, made a cup of coffee, played the daily, and then started like going through, because I wanted to do another show today here. And I was like, well, I've got time to look some stuff up and pull some stuff up and look around and all this other stuff. And man, I have found some pretty interesting things. And you know, it's like basically a variety show, so it's going to be a whole lot of everything, you know. Let me see here. We're going to probably need to go here. Let's go ahead and click over to this. There I am. I'm gonna move this up and up. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Okay, not bad. That'll work. All right. I'm probably gonna get DMCA'd for this, but so I just found this morning, and man, I am so excited. Season 2 of Freerun. Yeah. I'm so excited. So initially, I found this was like the last video I found, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is going in first slot. This is going in the first slot of videos. So, if you have not seen Freerun, I highly recommend you do. I don't really want to spoil anything, but I don't know. It's just a great story. Just go watch it. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. If not, go ask around. I mean, I'm sure most people will say it's amazing. So, but yeah, so there was season 1, and then, yep, now season 2's coming out. It actually feels like it came out pretty quickly. Like, they've been working pretty hard on it. I've heard One Punch Man season 3 has been just absolutely abysmal, which is really sad, because, man, season 1 was so good. I didn't even watch season 2. Like, I could tell from the animation. I was like, I'm not gonna like this. It's nowhere near the animation from season 1. So, anyway, enough glazing Freerun here, but we'll go ahead and put the trailer on here. Now, it is in Japanese, so if you're listening, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to listen to a little Japanese. I do have the subtitles on. Man, the animation in the show's so good too. Lots of detours, though. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna get DMCA'd, probably. And yeah, the animation looks pretty much on par, if not like even a little better than season 1 Frieren. It's so good. Go watch the show, chat, if you have not watched it. Oh, shit, it started playing on me. Samudra, man, how's it going? Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm just popping in for a second while taking a pause. Yeah, good. Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's been a very interesting 6 months. We'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Better I popped a tire last night. Ooh. Damn, dude. Sorry to hear that. How did you pop it? Did you like hit like a nail or something? Oh, well, there you go. So you already had it budgeted out. That's good at least. I don't know, man. It sounded like I had something, but I think it was just done. Maybe it had an air bubble or something. I'm gonna go through a month though. It's surprisingly affordable compared to everything else. Oh yeah, nice, very nice. I had something kind of similar happen. Not at 80 miles an hour, but I was going to my mom's house, and the curb for some reason has like a metal plate over the ridge of it. I don't know why. But there's this like section, like I was like parallel parking, and it was sticking out, and it just sliced. My tire hit it and just sliced, and I just felt my truck just. I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, that was fun, and then my spare had a hole in it too, so it's like, okay, well, I guess it's got to get towed. Oh, dude, burning rubber smell is the fucking worst. Maybe the only thing worse than that might be like burnt hair. That might be like a close second. Oh, dude, that's good. So you weren't in like the middle of nowhere. I've always wanted to do a road trip up to Alaska, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if I would want to go alone because there's just vast swaths of land where there's nobody around for hundreds of miles. So if something happens, you're kind of just like fucked. Oh yeah, it'd be an awesome trip. Man, you'd have to take like probably like a month off or something like that. Just because, I mean, it's going to probably take you like at least a week to get up there. But yeah, we're just going through some videos. I've been compiling some playlists for each day, just so I have kind of like an itinerary, a little bit more structured than normal. Oh, definitely, and I can do that. LOL, make my own schedule, dude. That's awesome. I wish I could make my own schedule. Let's see here. So this let's see. This next video, so since we were just watching the Freerun trailer, and I also found this one because of course now YouTube is gang banging me with Freerun videos on my feed. But this is why Freerun's character design is next level by Comfy Lilin. Looks like yeah, pretty sizable, good channel. Let's take a look and see what he's got to say. Let's see, this one's only, yeah, 12 minutes long. That's not too bad. Oh, that's a little quiet.
Where it's all visual, and that can be grand stories across a long stretch of time without a word. Just breathtaking sequences, but it can even be a set of earrings which are just sort of there, existing, being all read.
It's a little quiet, it seems.
Down, they say a ton about characters, the world, the journey we're all on, all without ever having any attention drawn to them. Alright, so I want to talk about storytelling through character design, because that sounds a lot better than I want to talk about clothes and jewelry. And
well, it's
symbolism.
up to max on my end, so.
There's a really important theme behind the minor details. This is a dramatic device that's quite common in some ways, but done here in a much more unique way. Storytelling through a tiny character design detail, through symbols. It's really quite impressive. Silent story.
Yeah, that's like the really cool thing about Freerun is that it tells a lot about the story without using any dialogue. You know, it's a very big show don't tell show, and I gotta respect that, especially with all like the millennial slop shows that are coming out or have been coming out.
The examples that are probably leaping to mind are those fantastic montages, and yeah, it's good stuff, very good stuff. But I'm talking about the smaller details that get the story across without showing anything. There's so much detail within some of these character design changes that can illuminate a lot about the development. As a dramatic device, changing up a character's appearance to signal development or growth, it isn't new, especially for anime that has a younger cast that age physically as they develop, or even simply get a bit more in shape as the story develops. Those are some really common cases, but what Freerun does is something quite different. Her character design can't change for age because, well, she ages super gracefully.
Yeah, I mean, she's an elf. Like, I think she's already like 2,000 years old at the start of the show.
Instead, the designs change in other ways.
Or no, is she 2,000 now? I don't remember. She's old.
Where a character ages over time as they mature. It's storytelling through how a character symbolically takes on elements.
She is hag maxing.
I want to talk about a few times where this series doesn't do its normal storytelling. It doesn't actually tell anything. It just leaves the reader and viewer to see the change, gives them the benefit of the doubt to dwell on something and find the conclusion themselves. There's examples in the character design, in how the world is laid out. It's all over. Now, as Season 2 is starting, we're getting showcases of the new character designs. And looking at them, you know, in the kind of detail you can only do when there's still a bit of time to kill before it comes back on. The manga's on hiatus, and there isn't really anything else going on.
Whoa, the manga's on hiatus? Oh no. Wonder why.
Like that on these minor details.
I'm in the Discord server. Maybe there was like an announcement or something, or someone can... I'm sure someone in there has talked about it. I could probably find some info on it at some point in time.
It brings to mind some past changes in character design. because the development in Freeman's look has been really quite meaningful. Like her earrings, they're in tons of shots of Freeman. Even when she's in the background, they're there. She always wears them. And they're actually a permanent showcase of a deciding factor in Freeman's growth, because Freeman wears her character development. Freeman in the present day wears these robes. It's her default look. It's never quite explained why she's taken to wearing exactly this outfit. A lot of people have filled in the gap though, and it seems like there's an obvious solution. There's a deeper meaning.
I don't know. I just thought it was just good character design. Grog see good design. Grog like design.
Here than just being a set of clothes. It's using purely visual elements to say the unsaid, and her faith that the audience will figure it out. We see Freeman before she leaves with Himmel's party like this, and at the outset of the journey, like this. She starts wearing church robes pretty quickly after joining them. Presumably Haida just grabs them for her, because in his formal attire at the funeral he's wearing the same robes. So it seems the church wears these robes for funerals. So either a load of holy men decided the most respectful way to honour Himmel was to surround him with Freeman cosplays, and I mean actually now that I'm saying it out loud, it might have been that. He would have liked that. But the easier solution is that these are formal church robes for the special occasions, not the everyday.
I didn't know those were church robes.
Never bothers changing. In the past, she was a lot plainer. The earrings are missing, there's no church robes. One sequence I find always has a ton to offer is where we meet Freeman's master and learn about the dawn of magic in their world. It's where we get to see her before and after. And it's a trend we see repeated across her lifetime, beyond clothes, that she wears her character development. Freeman's design in this period is a lot different, it's simpler. This sequence as a whole is a great example of how Freeman uses symbolism all over for some silent storytelling.
And she was basically like a peasant girl mage.
How it communicates the setting as quickly as possible. It's a quick way to get the vague time setting across and the limited number of panels and screen time. It's a more ancient civilization looking thing in the background. It's robes, it's columns, it's a different blend. It's not really dating to anything specific, just implying a general vibe and letting the audience fill it in. The visual shorthand for this is much longer ago than, you know, the main bit, which is also kind of in the past, but there's magic.
Oh, I just noticed that she has the same earrings that, or Freeman has the same earrings as her master does.
But it uses these visual
I don't know how I just noticed that.
idea of how long ago we are, so even a speed reader can pick up on it. It's not uncommon to see something similar done for flashbacks like these. It's why characters are often dressed very similarly as a child, but we get a lot more visual symbolism in these flashbacks, and they're often a lot easier to miss. It uses the same trick to show something quite important about Freeman. Elements of character design, they can often say the unsaid, and since Freeman doesn't age and doesn't care enough to change her clothes all that often, we don't get the traditional methods of developing her look to show
Same set of clothes for 1,000 years. Yeah.
So Freeman's normal character design is this, right? So earrings, but they're not Freeman's, it seems. These earrings most likely belong to her old master. In the flashback,
Doing deliveries right now. Try to stick around if I can. Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, thanks for popping in. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's the other reason why I kind of took a little hiatus, is I was waiting on this thing getting made. No, I'm pretty happy with it overall. The camera I have is not super great, but you know, we got to work with what we got.
So these are the same earrings. Freeman Sirius has a talent for storytelling with few words, where it's all visual, and that can be grand stories across a long stretch of time without a word. Just breathtaking sequences, but it can even be a set of earrings which are just sort of there, existing, being all red and dangly. But if you drill down, they say a ton of
Red and dangly, yes.
The journey we're all on, all without ever having any attention drawn to them.
They are dangly bits, aren't they?
Talk about storytelling through character design, because that sounds a lot better than I want to talk about clothes and jewelry and symbolism and this old lady. But there's a really important theme behind the minor details. This is a dramatic device that's quite common in some ways, but done here in a much more unique way. Storytelling through a tiny character design detail, through symbols. It's really quite impressive.
Wait, hang on. Oh, it rewound on me. I must have hit a button accidentally.
here taking looks at the ring, trying to figure out why a few times. But it's not
Oh,
until
where'd we
it's
leave
lost
off
that I
at?
think she realizes the significance. It was a gift from someone that she's crossing
Oh,
the
well.
road to try.
You get the idea. Alright, so this, anyway, a good video. I'm gonna give him a thumbs up. I must have hit something on the number pad that, like, rewound the video, so that doesn't help. Anyway, Comfy Lilin, good video. Sorry it skipped out on me here. Let's just go ahead and keep moving on. We got a lot to cover today.
Hey, folks.
All right, this is David Stewart. I've been watching him for like on and off. Like, he's mostly a writer, and he mostly does like writing kind of informationals. But every once in a while, he does like a little commentary video, which I appreciate, and I think he's got some pretty good takes overall. And this one's called "Low Rent People and the Death of Las Vegas." I've never been to Las Vegas. I've kind of really have no interest. I don't really gamble. Obviously, I'm not going to hire prostitutes and shit like that. I don't know. There just doesn't really, and I don't drink anymore, so it's like there's kind of really nothing there for me. I would say. But even when I was drinking, it's like, man, I'm not going to go to Vegas and just spend a ton of money just to go do what I can do at home. Anywho, let's see what Mr. Stewart has to say here.
David Stewart here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's talk about low
I
rent
am having a great day, thank you.
death of Las Vegas. I had a whole spiel about this live, but technical difficulties happened, and I wasn't able to give my whole spiel because the stream kept dying. We're basically dealing with magic. We got to remember that, and sometimes the spell fizzles and things don't work perfectly. So here's a VOD talking about low rent people and the death of Las Vegas. Low rent people. I'm not sure where I got this term. I might have got it from my mom.
I have heard that that term pretty often as well growing up. It was usually in reference to kind of like white trailer trash. And I mean no ill will, but that was just how it was used. I'm gonna guess that's probably the same that he's gonna say here.
Might be something like my mom and my extended families. They're low rent. They're low rent people. It's a good term because it doesn't get stuck to any specific kind of ethnic group or anything like that. It's a type of person and
Yeah.
behavior pattern for a type of people. And low rent people, I think, have had an impact on Las Vegas and our society as a whole. I'll talk about Costco with that a little bit.
If you want a really good example of the low rent person, just go to a Walmart. Just go to a Walmart. I'm not saying everyone there is low rent, but boy, if you want to see them pretty commonly, go to a Walmart. I worked at one for about 2 years, and boy, you see some shit sometimes. So, yeah, I would say if you want to see a real life example, that's where you want to go.
Let me give you some background about Las Vegas. I used to live in Las Vegas. I lived in Las Vegas for a little over 2 years where I was a performer and I was a teacher. I didn't make a ton of money there, but it was okay because Las Vegas was really, really cheap. And I had some really hard months where I made like almost no
Wait, Vegas is cheap? I figured it'd be kind of expensive to live there.
money, but I was still able to live there because it was really, really cheap to live there. The rates were really low, the groceries were cheap, and honestly, you could entertain yourself for very, very little money at the time. And that's because there was no paid for parking. Like, parking was free at the Strip. You could drive down to the Strip, and if you weren't performing there, you could watch someone else perform for free, just maybe at the mall, at Caesar's Palace, or in a casino. They had all kinds of free entertainment all the time that was just kind of around the attractions and around the gambling especially. Drinks,
Obviously.
Drinks were often comped, even if you were gambling with a really low amount of money.
See, that's what I heard as well. Um, I never knew if it's because I do have a couple friends that did when they did go to Vegas, um, and I've kind of heard mixed things where it's like as long as you're gambling, like even at like the penny slots, drinks are comped. And I heard that that's true, and then I've heard it's not true. Okay, so it seems like it is true, but it might be just like a Vegas only thing because there's been no casino I've gone to that ever comps drinks. They usually charge you out the nose for them.
We could go into the Luxor in the middle of the night and like put a couple of dollars down at the sports book and get some free drinks that didn't matter whether we win or lost because we really were gambling like less money than the cost of the drinks. So everything
Right.
was cheap. There were cheap flights in from Fresno. It was like $70 to fly in from Fresno. And
Wow.
the point of all of that cheap stuff, all of the complimentary meals, the complimentary concert tickets, it's to grease the wheels of the gambling. It's to get people encouraged to get to Las Vegas and to lose their money in the casinos. That's what all of that was about.
Yeah, you get them,
So it
you
was
get them
very
nice
cheap
and
for me to
sauced
spend in
up.
Las Vegas because the people from outside of town who came in and gambled a lot were really subsidizing a lot of the things that I got to enjoy really for free or for very, very little cost. It was subsidized in a big part by gambling. So what happened between that time?
Dude, you could totally do like a van life thing for Vegas. If they still do this, which they might not, just due to how everything kind of works nowadays. But if they still do that, dude, you could do like a van life thing in Vegas. Just be like, I want some dinner. Then you just go play like $5 in the penny slot or whatever, and then go to the buffet and just load up on lobster and shit. Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Time and the 2020s where now I hear there's resort fees. Every hotel is going to have like a $50 resort fee, maybe more. There's fees to use the pool. There's fees to park. There's a $20 bottles of water on the strip. Everything got more expensive. What the hell happened?
Okay, so I guess you can't do that anymore. Unfortunate.
Rent people is one of the reasons for that, but not the only one that I'll get into. But if you compare it, the early 2010s, everything was focused on the gambling. It was all about gaming. So people would lose all their money gambling, and you wanted them to feel like they still got something out of their trip, that they could continue gambling because they got their free buffet or whatever, that they were rewarded somehow for gambling. You wanted them to feel good about the gaming experience, even though they're really losing a lot of money. And I've gone into detail how people end up losing money in casinos. Even when you see the odds are a certain percent or something like that, the odds are really like 100%. 100% of the money gets kept by the casino because people go bust. So what happened is things ended up changing a little bit. Right, I think before I talk about the low rent people,
It's going
one
straight
thing
through my
to understand
headphones.
is
Okay,
that
good to know.
I
Sorry
think
about that, chat.
Over time, and
That
I
should
could
be
see
better.
this even while I was there, people were not just coming to Las Vegas to gamble. They were coming to Las Vegas for the attractions. There was like Elton John and Celine Dion were at one of the casinos, and there were shows there all the time. There was a Cirque du Soleil show. There's Penn and Teller. There's all these entertainment things to come in and see there. There's exhibit.
I've always wanted to see Penn and Teller. I have just such a love for magic and magic tricks. I know it's not really a cool hobby, but I've always enjoyed it ever since I was a wee fox. And man, I would love to see Penn and Teller one day. Maybe that might be my excuse to go to Vegas and just go visit, just to go see them.
There's rides. There's roller coasters.
If they're still performing. I know they're probably getting pretty old at this point. I should probably do that sooner rather than later.
There's all kinds of things to do in Las Vegas besides gambling. And so as it became more, in some cases, as a family destination, those things have to cost money because the people are not coming in to lose their money in the casino. They're coming in to do the other things. So the business needs to focus more on charging for those things more directly in order to make a profit. I don't believe any kind of narrative that like, oh, the corporations are super greedy now. Like they somehow weren't greedy in 2010. Like when you think of casinos, do you think...
I was about to say, dude, they're casino companies, dude. I used to work for one. I used to work at a casino. Yeah, no, they are absolutely diabolical companies. Like, I'm almost sure the CEO of the company I worked for was with the Italian mob. Like, no shit.
Think of not greedy people. No, they're trying to make as much money as possible, but those cheap things were to grease the wheels to get people to lose their money in the casino. If less people
Please
are
don't
willing to
whack
spend
me.
their money in the casino, you have to spend on other things. When people talk about Las Vegas kind of being dead, there seems to be this shift that happened around 2020. So in 2019 was one of these high water marks. I think it had the most people ever visit Las Vegas in like 2019. And then in 2020, you had the pandemic, and that
Yeah,
changed a lot of
COVID.
things. But you had something interesting happen in 2020 to 2021, which is people got stimulus checks. So people got these $2,000 or $2,500.
Oh, yeah, the
stimulus checks,
stimmies.
and they
Forgot about the
spent the
stimmies.
money in a lot of cases in Las Vegas, in the casinos, and doing those sorts of things.
Oh,
There was
no.
an entire boom
Government
of the guitar
subsidized
making
casinos.
industry around that time, because people got stimulus checks. And what did musicians do? How often did they have $2,000 cash sitting around? Not very often. They went and bought guitars with them. They went and bought gear. Now you can buy all the gear used for like a song and a dance, which is great if you were wanting to save money on gear and you didn't need to acquire gear back then, I guess. But that's a thing, right? Low rent people, when they get their hands on a sum of money, even though $2,000 is not that much money, when they get their hands on that sum of money, they spend it. They find something that will take that money away from them.
I think I used my stimmy check on, like, bills and my mortgage. I know, super sexy. I'm like, well, I can pay off some cards and some bills, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I used it for.
Right? They blow the money on purchases, and in some cases, big purchases. So you have a class of people that
I would have loved a new
get their
guitar, though.
stimulus checks, and rather than looking at that money like we should save it, we should pay our rent with it, we should do all of these other things that you might think of doing with it, they're like, well, they get their family, we have $6,000, we should go to Las Vegas. And that's what they did. And so when you have a bunch of low rent people in one area, you have problems. Like there were these brawls in the Wynn. I think the Wynn ended up suing people for like damaging their brand by having big knockout
The
brawls
Wynn?
in their lobbies. Why were
What's
these
the
people
Wynn?
in Las Vegas? They were there. They wouldn't normally be there because they normally wouldn't be able to save enough money to make a trip to Las Vegas, but they got a stimulus check. You combine that with laws in both Nevada and California. California is the main one I remember that it became much harder to evict people after the pandemic, where it was a much longer process. It took, in some cases, like a year to evict
Oh, yeah, I
people.
remember that.
So certain kinds of people are going to look at that as rent is optional. So
Which
the
they
rent
did.
is optional. Plus, I have $2,000. I'm going to go to Las Vegas. I'm going to buy some crap. I'm going to buy sneakers and go to Las Vegas, whatever it's going to be. So low rent people don't think the way that maybe other people do. When we got a stimulus check, or I guess we got two, like one for me, one for my wife, maybe. It's like we paid our taxes with it. You know?
Yeah.
What do we? Whoa, that money
Whoa.
really helped us to pay our taxes.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of your needs, and when you think about, I would support like a stimulus.
I hate to say it, like with Christmas coming up, pretty much all my Christmas money is going to be going to bills and mortgage. Like, Merry Christmas, you know. My dad would always get mad at me. He'd always be like, "No, you're supposed to use your Christmas money on like fun stuff," and I'm just like, "Dad, I can't. I'd rather not be homeless." I'm just gonna use this to pay some shit off. Thank you. That's my Christmas gift, is I don't have to worry about electric for this month.
Stimulus check, you're thinking about the responsible things you would probably do with the money, like fix something in your house or save it or buy school supplies. And you think other people think that way. And this is a really classic example of emotional projection. Most of us do it to some capacity rather than empathy, which is actually understanding what that person thinks and feels. We emotionally project. If I was poor, I would do this with the money. The thing is, poor people don't think that way. The people who got the stimulus check didn't think about doing that, or they didn't think very long about it. What they were like is, I never have $2,000. let's do something fun. And so they went to Las Vegas and didn't pay their rent.
Which, you know what, to be devil's advocate here, I can understand where that mindset comes from. Especially if you rarely have anything over like $1,000 at one time in your like savings account or checking account. So to have that much money on hand is probably a rarity and more or less just like a this is never happening ever again, so we might as well treat ourselves. So I can see an argument for that, but still, it's probably better you use it for like, you know, in either investments, bills, like what, you know, what Mr. Stewart's saying here.
Rent and trashed the city. So the response, of course, for the businesses is we need to put more filters in place that are going to reduce the kind of people that are coming in so that we don't suffer this brand harm by people having knockout brawls. By the way, this also happened on cruise ships. Okay, there's a whole, I think Carnival Cruise Lines has had.
I was about to say, yeah, it's Carnival Cruise Lines. It's bad. It's really, really bad. I mean, they're kind of hilarious to watch, but boy, like, I feel bad for anybody that was like, hey, man, this is like my one and only vacation that I'm going to get this year, maybe in 2 years. And you end up on one of those boats.
Major brand loss because there's bar fights on the cruise ships, and people are filming these knockout brawls between various groups of people that maybe took their stimulus checks and decided to go on a cruise. They don't lose their ghetto behavior when they get on the cruise ship. In fact, they're in a tightly confined space, and it just sort of amplifies it. And the end result is the regular people who would have preferred to take a cruise before aren't gonna take one because they don't want to be locked up at sea with a bunch of low rent people. So it just ends up changing the incentives for all the behavior. If you want to know why people get into the
I think cruises are a little overrated anyway. The only exception I will say, if you do decide to take a cruise, as I know the big trap is everyone's like, I want to go to the Caribbean. And if you really want to do that, then go for it, but just expect a lot of really loud partying and all that other shit. Like, it just kind of comes with the territory. However, if you want a really neat trip that's going to be more kind of on the chill and quiet side, chill as in no pun intended, do an Alaskan cruise. I think there's one through, I think it is actually Royal Caribbean. I think it's them. But yeah, they do an Alaskan cruise, and for one, it's absolutely gorgeous. And two, it's not as high octane as like a Caribbean cruise. So there you go. There's my advice, my unsolicited advice to you if you really want to do a cruise.
To income trap, they spend a lot of money to move out of the suburbs. It's to stay away from the low rent people. It's to get physically away from all of the behavior problems that go along with that kind of poverty. And the poverty and the behavior goes right along side of it. If you were to give $50,000 to a middle class family, you'd find that they'd had all kinds of great uses for it. They would like pay down their mortgage, and they'd save some, and they'd fix up their house. And if you give $50,000 to somebody in the projects, that $50,000 would be gone, and they wouldn't even know where it went. It would be spent on tequila and drugs maybe.
That's when they need Caleb Hammer.
And it would be spent on, they'd buy a PlayStation and some games and some new sneakers, and they'd buy a car, and then they'd skip the payments on the car would get repossessed, and they'd be left with nothing. Because they have, it's a time preference thing. They don't have this long-term thinking. They're not thinking the way that you're thinking. And this is a really easy mistake to make. Is like, these people are just like me. They don't think like you. And that's one of...
It's essentially people that don't think beyond step one. And I guess if you really wanted to call them anything, it'd be the non-breakfast perceivers.
The reasons that they are in a radically different place. It's not that they can't think differently. They can, through habituation,
And they can learn it too.
discipline, through
Yeah.
careful thought, they can change
It's learnable.
those behaviors and change those actions so that they stop being that. Many people have escaped out of poverty to be
Yeah.
incredibly successful. But it's, I think, foolish to expect people to just do that because they could. It's better to be realistic about what they're probably going to do. This has an interesting, there's an interesting tangent here, which is, why is there a Costco?
Ooh, I like
membership?
tangents.
It's to keep low rent people out of Costco. So Costco charges a membership. It's
Oh, hang on. I was talking over him. Hang
a
on.
chain here in the United people out of Costco. Tangent here, which is, why is there a Costco membership? It's to keep low rent people out of Costco. So Costco charges a membership. It's a chain here in the United States. If you don't have them where you're at, they might be in Canada as well. You might have Sam's Club in your locality, which is owned by Walmart. Same idea. There's a membership fee, a yearly membership fee, get you a little membership card. And believe it or not, that membership card is a form of identification. I've heard of people who have lost their wallets in the airport or gotten them stolen or something and have been able to get on the plane with their Costco card.
I mean, I believe it. Man, I've wanted a Costco membership for the longest time ever. I don't. I guess I'm the riffraff they're trying to keep out because I can't afford the membership at the moment. And on top of that, even if I could, I live alone. That's just a lot of food. Like I don't need a pallet of biscuits. But I know buying in bulk is the way to go, and their butcher is actually pretty freaking good. They've got good meat.
Because it has their picture and they were able to call the corporation.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they gotta have their
like,
picture on there.
get some confirmation on their identity. Like they had the Costco card and the credit card and they were able to get on the plane. Seems crazy, but I've heard of that happening. But Costco charges this membership. It's like $100 and some odd dollars a year, maybe $200 a year. And you have to pay that up front. Then you get to go into Costco and shop. So why do they do that? Some people have made the argument and they've made the analysis like if Costco just let everybody come in, they would make more money because they would sell more stuff and they probably wouldn't even have to raise the prices very.
But they already make dummy money. They don't need to lower the quality of their store to just make money. They're already making hand over fist. Like everybody loves Costco. I don't think I've met a single person in my entire life that says I don't like Costco.
Very much in order to offset the cost of the membership. But the fact is the membership is a filter and it filters out certain kinds of people so that Costco doesn't have to spend as much on security as other companies do. So
True.
they get a labor savings by not having to spend as much on security. They don't
Yeah,
have
they probably only
zero
have
security.
one
They
asset
still have
protection
expensive
guy.
things locked up in that locker most of the time. They have people checking your receipts when you go out, but that's a relatively low labor cost compared to what you may have to deal with at some.
Well, that's what Walmart does now with the door greeters. That's they check your receipts. So like the door greeters not only say hi, but they also check your receipt on the way out now. I don't know if that's every Walmart, but the one that's by my house, that's what they do. That should also tell you kind of everything.
I think like even like a Target or Walmart, somebody patrolling and multiple security guards, and then all of the loss of merchandise. Because if you let just anybody come into your store, the low rent people are going to come in and they're going to steal. So it keeps
Yep.
the people who are likely to steal. Most of them, it keeps them out of the door. Not everyone.
Though I would love to see someone try to steal some of that big ass bulk shit that Costco has. I guess you could just load up a cart and run out, but seeing someone try to carry that would be actually kind of hilarious to watch.
But it keeps most of them out, so it's a really good filter. Whereas Walmart lets anybody in, and they get a lot of stuff stolen off the shelves.
Yeah.
There's a crap ton of shoplifting that happens at Walmart. The people who come in and steal from Walmart don't.
Oh, people will just go to the deli and get so the deli has like kind of like a hot area, and they got like chicken tendies and like fries and like just kind of like portioned out deli stuff, like deli snacky stuff. And it's like hot food. And it's all binned up and kind of in the front, but it's not behind the counter. Like you can go up and just pick up what you want, and then ideally you go and pay for it, and there you go. People will just pick those up while they're shopping, and they'll just eat them while they're shopping, and then just huck either an empty, generally it was an empty, and they'll just put it behind something on the shelf. It was so cool.
Really have a problem.
And
stealing
nothing
from Walmart.
happened.
Walmart's a giant faceless
People just came in.
corporation.
It might as well just been like a free snack bar. They should have just put a sign up saying free snacks.
They don't really care. They'll steal from it. And Walmart has to, and any large store, any store really, has to have as part of their financial plans and their budgeting
They're shrink.
loss and
Yeah.
loss prevention. Is that loss is going to happen, meaning people are going to steal things, and loss prevention, you have to spend some money to stop them from stealing things.
They pretty much calculate. They auto calculate pretty much their losses as far as like theft goes and shrink. They just expect it.
Well, the membership is a filter that keeps out the people that are most
Which is kinda
likely
sad.
to steal, so that you can reduce those costs in other ways. So it ends up being a really good strategy because of that filter, because it filters certain people out of your customer base. And I think Las Vegas has adopted that to a certain extent. We have a resort fee.
Oh, yeah, we
so
were talking
that
about
makes it a
Las
little more
Vegas.
expensive to get here, so that you don't have certain people that show up. And I have to admit, I think the pay for parking is to keep locals off the strip. And
You do what New Vegas does, and you've got like free side, which is like the gritty side, and then if you really want to get into the strip, you have to pay like 500 caps. That's what you do. So we need Securitrons ASAP, and then you gotta pay to get into the strip.
have to
New Vegas had it
say that
right.
The reason that you want to keep locals off the strip is that the population of Las Vegas has changed a little bit over the last 20 to 30 years, and it's changed in such a way that you no longer have the hardworking locals who are working at the casinos and working corporate jobs in Las Vegas. You have a lot of low rent people, and so if low rent people can come to the strip for free, then they're going to come down there and possibly make trouble for you. So just putting a $5 or $10 parking fee for the parking garage is going to massively filter a lot of those people, because they may not have $10 to do it, or they can't come up with $10, or they don't have a credit card. Same reason the people who would steal can't get together $200 to get a Costco membership. They just can't get that stuff together. It's like the people who can't get an ID to vote. It's like their life is not together enough.
Yeah, I always find that very silly. Like the whole people are against voter ID laws. It's like, you can get a non-driving license, right? Like just like an ID card. Like you don't have to drive to have an ID card. It's not hard to get. You just bring some paperwork, show them that you exist, and they just print one out for you. And it's like super. I think it's like $5. It might have gone up since last I checked, but it's giga cheap. And yeah, if you can't do that, I don't know if I really trust you with deciding big decisions for the country. I know, hot take.
To get a free ID from the government so that they can
Oh, it's free? No shit.
do things in the modern world. My mom also called these people, they called them living on the margins or marginal people. I don't like marginal people as a term.
Yeah, it's kind of a spicy
simply
term.
because the academia uses
Yeah, and that and the word has been co-opted. Like, I would not use that word.
marginal or marginalized people.
Yeah,
as a
exactly.
totally different kind of thing. Sort of different. Like they're always worried about the marginalized people. Whereas low
Yeah.
people, it's like these are people who you can expect to act badly, to blow their money quickly. They're just irresponsible people, which is why they end up
Yeah, it's
stuck
like
in
living
those
on the edge,
situations.
more or
Those
less.
Things kind of go hand in hand. They might have been born in that. They might have learned those behaviors from being born in that situation. It doesn't matter where it arises. What matters is what they do and what they tend to do as a group, okay, what they tend to do. So that is really what I wanted to talk about here with the death of Las Vegas. So I think that's a lot of the stuff that you see, is that there's less gambling, so you have to charge money for other things. And then also you want to put that filter up to keep out certain people, including locals. The locals were maybe nicer 20 or 30 years ago, and they're not as nice today. So it's just something that I think is worth thinking about with low rent people and the low rent fatigue Anyway, guys, have a great one. Leave me your thoughts down below. I'd love to read them. And be sure to stop on my Substack and my Patreon. I have some exclusive content and some books on Patreon as part of the membership. And
Go check out his books. I haven't read any of them, but yeah, he is an author.
I do.
He's been doing it for a while
There's
too.
Ken Parker guitar right here. There's a GoFundMe for Ken Parker. He's very ill with cancer. I just wanted to link that. So in your charity, if you care about who's probably the most innovative guitar maker besides like Leo Fender, right? It's Ken Parker. He's done a lot of amazing stuff in his career, but he's very ill right now. And because he's an independent maker, his income really depended on his ability to make guitars. And because of his cancer treatment, he's not really able to do that anymore. So anyway, check that out and just consider that. And I will check you all next time. Have a great one.
That's a shame. All right, that's David Stewart. Check him out. Definitely recommend him. He's a good he's got some good opinions every once in a while. Man, he looks super young there. All right, next up we got Midwest Safety, my favorite thing. We got some body cams. Let's go.
You got a camera on you?
Midwest Safety. Street preacher thinks he's above the law. Oh boy, howdy! Look at this big boy.
I sure do. Turn it off. I don't want to be photographed.
Turn it off. I don't want to be photographed. That's not how this works.
When I interact with the public, I have to have this on, okay?
That's fine, but I really don't want you to photograph me.
I have to, sir.
It's actually for your safety.
Okay, we're doing our religious freedom of speech thing.
No,
I'm
you're
asking you to turn it off, and I'm asking you too, also, that you're restricted from giving my picture to any media, any newspaper, anywhere.
Kind of telling you.
Yeah, that's
kinda
unfortunate. You're on the internet right now.
Obstructing traffic.
A
They can
little
go that
bit.
way. No, your judgment is wrong, sir. I
Okay.
don't like to be photographed either. Your
All right.
judgment is wrong.
All right.
Thank you. We'll call the police if you.
I am the police, sir.
No, the Sandusky police.
And guess what? I'm the sheriff's office. I have jurisdiction here. They don't have jurisdiction here.
We have religious freedoms in
But
this
you're
country.
not, like, on a
we have
safe
religious
sidewalk.
freedoms in this country.
This is all the roadway. You have to get out of the roadway, okay?
He's in the roadway.
He's
That's
not in the roadway.
Oh, okay. I'm going to stand there. If he's not, you
No,
said it.
we're
You
not.
said it.
We're
You
not
said
gonna do
it.
this.
He's
We're not gonna do this,
He's not.
sir.
He's in the roadway. He is in the roadway. You are discriminating.
You're obstructing.
I'm working for the Blessed Virgin Mary
You are
here,
obstructing justice.
and you're taking away
You
my.
are obstructing justice.
That's a pretty.
Usually there's like an intro. I guess it's just going right into it.
I'm giving you a lawful order to
All of this just for standing in the roadway? Just get out of the road, dude.
walk out of here, okay? It's all in your right to call the Sandusky police, but you need to move your stuff, okay? You're in the way. You're obstructing the
Is
roadway.
he in the roadway?
Huh?
Is he
He's
in
on
the
the
road?
side of the road. You're in the middle of it.
I'll tell
He's
you
on the
what.
side of the road.
Bye
You're in
bye.
the middle of it.
Bye bye. I've seen enough of you.
No,
I've seen enough. I got
doesn't
another
work that
idea.
way.
I got another idea.
It does not work that way, Mr. Stancil.
No.
Sir, I don't want to arrest you for disorderly conduct because you're getting there.
Look.
I do not want to arrest you for disorderly conduct. You're getting there. Move your stuff or I'm going to arrest you. That's that.
See that guy there?
Move
He's
your stuff or you're going to be
obstructing
placed
the
under arrest.
Now, is there a legal place around here?
No,
Do you-
I know.
On the sidewalk, yes. You are not on the sidewalk. You are in the middle of the roadway.
In your opinion.
There is no opinion about it.
What is he doing?
There is no opinion
What
about
is he
it.
doing?
I'm-
What is this?
I am not-
Peter? What is Peter
Okay.
doing besides obstructing the roadway?
We keep going.
What is Peter doing?
All right, for disorderly conduct. Just go.
Now, is there any public place there?
Back up there on the sidewalk. Yeah, on the sidewalk up there.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's walk.
Where are you going?
I'm walking with you because I need your information now.
You're not getting any information.
Please
from
don't
me.
do this, please.
You're not getting any
Please
information.
don't do this because I don't want to have to.
Then don't.
I got to get information from one of you. That's it.
You're not getting any information from me.
Yeah,
You're not getting any information from me.
Yeah, I am.
You're not getting.
Yeah, I am.
Do what you got to do, but you're not getting any information from me.
Okay.
You don't know my name. You're not getting any information from me.
Okay.
Do what you do.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't understand. You know,
I am a citizen from the United States. I have religious freedoms. I have freedom of speech. You're hard to deal with, sir.
I'm hard to deal with.
Yes,
Okay.
you are.
I feel I'm being extremely patient, though.
No, I'm not. I'm being extremely patient with a law enforcement officer who's way over the top in authority. Just like he is way over the top in authority, and he's using you to push poison into people's arms. I'm not going to give you any information. If you're looking for information, no, I'm not giving you any information. Just
Dude, the cop is just like begging. He's like, please, just stop. For the love of God.
don't ask.
You know, the God that you love, please. Please spare us.
Again, you're
All
going home.
right. Sir, you got an ID?
I don't have one.
Okay, I need your information. I need your name.
We don't have
and
any
all that
information.
stuff. Where are you from? Michigan, Ohio?
Well, dude, just then let the kid just give the information. If you're not going to give the information, just let the kid do it so you can just be on your way.
We are not giving you information. We are
Oh, no. Oh, dude. Dude, just let him fucking give the information.
calling the police now.
It's like it's his information. It's not like it's going to link back to you unless they, like, go through, I guess, your church or something. But I'm pretty sure they'll find you regardless.
And we're going to talk with them.
And guess what they're going to do?
We don't care what they're
Okay,
doing.
contact them. I'd like to see how this works.
He keeps saying we. Who's we? Is he speaking for the kid, I'm guessing? Or does he have a mouse in his pocket?
I'll be
Why don't
fine.
you call them?
All right. No, I'm not calling. This is your whole idea, right? This is your big plan.
No, we're going to call Sandusky police here. I want to call the Sandusky police if this guy won't let us go.
Okay, go ahead.
Stay away from my car, please.
Okay. No, this is
Listen.
this
I want
is
6
the
foot.
parking
I
lot.
want 6 foot. I want 6 foot.
I want 6 for it.
If you got this,
Hey.
don't.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. He's all over the place.
Watching me.
No, you. Nah,
Over there,
don't.
please.
Don't.
Have you been vaccinated? I
start
want
with
6
it.
foot. I want
Don't
6 foot.
start with it.
I'm pretty sure the cops had to get vaccinated since they are government workers.
No, start with that.
Come on.
Get the police on the phone, will you, Bob? Peter and you are ganging up on religious freedom
Right.
and freedom of speech, and that's not good in America.
Okay. All right. Well.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll pat you down real quick for weapons. How about that? Well, no, I got you. Hey,
You're not arresting me.
Hey.
You are not
So you're
arresting
going to give me your information because I don't want to have to.
We're waiting for the police to come, please.
Okay, there's just going to.
So is he, I guess, being detained at this point? I would imagine being detained. I mean, he's about to get arrested.
Be another guy that looks like me.
Fine.
Just come on, dude. I don't want to. So that's it. You're making your decision.
You made your decision.
Okay. Do me a favor then. Don't tense up, buddy. You're tensing up and you're resisting, man.
I'm not resisting.
Well,
I'm standing in front of my car.
do me a favor then.
I'm not
Turn
resisting.
around.
I'm not turning
Place
around.
your hands behind your back.
Why?
Because you're under arrest. You refuse to give me your information. You refuse to give me anything to identify yourself. Don't reach.
This is the nicest cop in the entire world.
I know. And if
I would not have such patience.
you're cool with me, I'm going to cite you and get you out of here. How about that?
You ain't gonna cite me nothing.
Come on, just turn around and put your hands behind your back.
I want my cane.
No, I will get
He might be too big for this cop. He might not be able to get his hands behind his back.
your cane. But you're under arrest.
He's a pretty big boy.
You're hurting me. I have a broken collarbone. You're hurting
Oh, here we go.
me. I have a broken collarbone.
I feel like I hear that quite often from a lot of people. I have a broken collarbone.
You're hurting me. Well, be nice and put your hands behind your back. I have a broken collarbone. I have my hands behind your back. No, you don't. What is my hand?
If he had a broken collarbone, he would not be as mobile as he was beforehand. Unless he just broke it, which I strongly doubt.
Doing? Yeah, just try to jump off the car.
Listen, this guy is over the top. I'm not giving you my ID. Let's go to jail. Let's go to jail. No ID.
Here, take a step back.
I'll get out in the morning.
If he gives me the information, I'm just getting with disorderly.
Yeah. Long summons and.
Let's just get your name and information and get you home.
You don't have to pay anything.
Disorderly, right? That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Undo this cuffs.
No.
Tell us your name first and everything.
I gotta
I'll
identify
give you my ID. I'm going to give you my ID if I get out of this.
All right.
Oh, he's got a dog friend with him.
John.
This is John. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you my ID.
Okay, so I'll give you the ID.
I can't give you my ID unless the
I
cuffs
know.
are off.
I'm gonna give you the ID. Okay. If you don't, then you will go to jail. Okay.
Okay, I got disorderly. That's it.
Yep.
Right?
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
That's
I'm gonna get you. You're gonna be cool with me.
I'm cool with
And dude, he just does not want to do the paperwork so badly.
Okay. All right.
I can't blame him.
that guy has discriminated us.
Where's it at?
The K9 really wants a fucking piece of that guy.
I'll get it before I take the cuffs off.
Right here.
Where's that? In the back pocket?
No.
Front pocket?
No. Undo this button. No.
Oh, but. Gotcha.
This is who we work for, and this guy won't let us work today. Our religious freedom. We have
put that back in
religious
there.
freedom here.
I'm gonna take your handcuffs off. You're gonna be cool with me?
Very cool.
Okay.
Disorderly only.
No, you're
Disorderly
that's
only. I'll come back.
He just got some paperwork for you, and you'll be able to go. Okay.
Here, we're passing out flyers now. That's disorderly. This is our flyer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And this is what we pride ourselves on. Non-violent
Yep.
methods. Keep it. Give it to your other people.
You got a court date on the 24th of January, okay? It's at 9 a.m. It's at the Erie Municipal Court, 150 Madison Street, okay? It's in Milan, Ohio.
Mylan, come on, man. Well, we're going to be calling the paper on this. You know that, don't you?
That's
Big
okay.
stretch.
I understand.
We
All right.
want to make sure we get representatives. And man, this is going to go to court. This is going to be in the paper. Let me ask you, will you be
It's not gonna be in the paper.
obstructing those
You're not that
justices
important,
to
brother
be
man.
his friend?
No, they're on the side of the road. Let's not
That's
get
what we were
let's not get
doing.
into it, John.
God, just go
The
home.
suspect was given a citation for disorderly conduct. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. The individual involved in this case is currently engaged in a lawsuit in U.S. Federal District Court, alleging his First and Fourth Amendment rights were violated. However, the original lawsuit targeted the wrong entities, and he has since asked the court permission to update his filing to target the correct entities. The case is currently ongoing. We reached out to the law firm for comment, but they did not respond. Next, police are called after reports.
Ooh, we get a twofer. We get a 2-for-1. Oh boy, look at that hair.
Reports of an individual repeatedly causing a scene and scaring residents at several locations across the city.
See this image?
What is that?
See this image in the clouds with the Lord?
Okay.
With his arms outstretched?
Oh no.
God is a God of signs too. A God of
Two holy men in one video. I see why they coupled them together here.
wonders, visions. He gives us visions. Some people at a certain point maybe did not understand and believe. Understand?
Okay.
And I was persecuted. And now this is what I'm trying to help you understand. This is what I'm trying to help you understand.
Okay.
Okay? There's a way.
But what are you doing at the police department?
Okay, I was trying to get work, either work or people to get together and help out a friend. Because listen, you can give a gift.
Help you out with what though? Like what?
First of all, there's lawlessness abound, right? There's lawlessness allowed. For example, like you are in a position where you're taught to shoot. For example, to kill somebody. And
What?
And God's law
Holy
is thou shalt
shit.
not kill. Now, in the back of your vehicle.
Well, now what is it? When did I? Who taught me?
In the back of your vehicle.
The cops is completely 404'd.
Listen. Instead of having bodysuits, for example, that are going to protect you more, right?
Yeah.
You're instead of, so to be protected, okay? You're taught to do things, okay? You're taught lawlessness because thou shalt, this is one nation under God. It's on your money that you get, right?
Yeah.
It's on your money. It's on, yeah. So one nation under God. There's one God, one Lord of all. So if it says thou shalt not kill, you were deceived too. Because people were deceived in the whole, the deceiver of the nations is Satan. Here, listen, we were all deceived. Prostitution is illegal.
What are we trying to get
Instead
at?
of sitting around and putting people in jails and putting people in hospitals, get rid of the lawlessness.
What?
And then you all are protected and we're all protected because we are here. I don't get paid to serve and protect. I don't get a salary of $5,000 or even $3,000 a month.
Why are you coming to the PD? Why are you?
Because I've been, listen, I went to the FBI. I talked to a woman at the FBI about 10 years ago. There's pornography, for example, on Facebook where children view it. Do you understand that? Children go on Facebook and they view it.
Oh my God.
Do you understand that?
Oh my God,
Because
dude.
it's lawlessness and you're law
What can
enforcement.
I do with that? I don't own Facebook. I can't take stuff down.
I'm trying to help you understand
This
is
poor
to protect
cop.
us all. To protect us all because
Buddy.
it's lawlessness. Pornography is what it is somebody filming something that is illegal.
Yeah.
But because it's done, so here, I'm standing here, right? And if I attack you, or jump on you and start punching you or something, and this man
Please
over
don't.
here, my friend over here films it, right? Because it's on camera, right?
Yeah, you'd probably get tased. That's probably.
That doesn't make it legal. That doesn't make it legal.
probably-
So that
But
doesn't
listen,
make it legal.
Listen, man, this is what I'm gonna tell you.
So what I'm trying to say, it doesn't make it legal, but that somebody filmed it. So we
Dude,
were
he's just
deceived.
straight up
People in
schizo
the world,
posting.
We were deceived. Do you understand that?
Listen. What
Make
I-
asylums great again. Oh, what's up, Danny? Over on Kick.
You cannot take.
What's your name, sir?
My name
Is that a rainbow
Chris.
badge
What's your
over in
name?
the
My name's
left-hand
Officer
corner?
Wiggins. You have two choices.
Yes.
You can go to
No.
the hospital, get checked out.
I
or
don't
you
think
can
so,
go
at
to jail.
least. I'll show you the logo. It should pop up, actually.
I was about to say.
What I'm trying to
But
tell
it's
you
it's
now-
Midwest Midwest
or jail?
Patrol or Midwest Security.
For what?
Well, you're all over the place with everything.
All over
I think,
the
hang
place.
on.
I am trying
What is
to help you
Midwest?
understand something,
Midwest
my friend.
Safety,
Listen,
pardon me.
Lawlessness. You know what lawlessness is?
So you don't want to go to the hospital?
No.
Okay. Put your hands behind
Now
your back.
listen. Hold on just a second.
Come here.
Wait, hang on. I missed it. So what? I guess they're just like, okay, man, no more schizo posting at the PD.
Okay, I want to listen.
Hang on,
listen,
I just want to see this here.
All over the
Or jail.
Yeah.
What's your-
Somebody came in there. The world, we were deceived. Do you understand that?
Listen. What I'm
We
gonna
were
tell
deceived.
you.
Somebody came in there. The deceiver of. Listen, a deceiver. You cannot take.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Chris. What's your name?
Chris, my name's Officer Wiggins. You have two choices.
Yes.
You can go to the hospital, get checked out, or you can go to jail.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say.
What I'm trying to tell you right now.
Answer the question. Hospital or jail?
For what?
Well, you're all over the place with everything.
All over the place. I am trying to help you understand something, my friend.
Oh,
Listen,
no, yeah.
Lawlessness. You know what lawlessness is?
It's like
So you
listening
don't
to a
wanna go
green
hospital?
text IRL, pretty much.
Put your hands behind
Now
your back.
listen. Hold on just a second.
Come here.
Hold on.
Yeah,
just a second.
yeah, they're like, okay, no more
Okay,
schizo
I want to
posting.
make a phone call to an attorney because I have the ability to make a phone call.
Well, good thing that he's right at the PD. He doesn't have to get shoved into a car. They just gotta just take him into the station.
Lawlessness. Listen. Lawlessness.
Is there anything on you that's illegal? Weapons? Drugs?
Drugs, maybe.
Hold on. I have a right
Very
to make
well,
a phone
maybe.
call. I have a right to make a phone call. I have a right to make a phone call. Dude. I have a right to make a phone call to an attorney.
I wonder if he's like a sovereign
I have a
citizen.
right.
Face that
Nah,
way.
he's just
You're
schizo
not
posting.
helping lawlessness. Listen. Can you understand? There's lawlessness.
Stop.
Listen.
Stop.
Okay. Listen.
Did you know that there's
There's
lawlessness?
People trying to tell you
Stop
that by violence you're gonna
talking.
listen.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of, what's his name? Joseph from Far Cry. Far Cry 5. I think it's 5. Yeah, dude, he reminds me of the cult leader. He even kind of looks like him a little bit. He just needs the aviator glasses.
Listen. Listen to me, my friend. Listen, my friend. Can you hear me out?
I'm actually kind of shocked he's not wearing sunglasses with that snow, man. That snow blindness is a real thing.
Listen.
Sit.
Listen, my friend. My friend. I was trying to prove how lost you have in God we trust.
Aren't they right at the police department? Why are they loading him into the car?
On your vehicles. And you have in God we trust.
Stop.
Listen. Stop, dude. Listen, you have.
Stop.
Stop, dude.
I have the right to call an attorney. They didn't let me call an attorney. They didn't let me call an attorney. Just have a seat. Listen, my friend, I'm trying to help.
Put your feet in.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help.
Put your feet in.
Why are you doing this? You need to get in the car. Why? Listen is why. Okay. Listen, I tried talking to you I tried talking to you in person. You know what? Innocent children are getting murdered.
Watch your head, dude.
If it doesn't have to.
Watch your
Listen,
head.
it doesn't have to be allowed. Nobody has to be watching it.
Watch your knees.
Yeah, there's the logo.
The suspect was charged with obstructing, resisting,
Hang
disorderly
on, here, I'll
conduct.
back it up for you. Yeah, it's red, yellow, and blue. And then a badge. Nah, a cult leader would actually be charismatic. Yeah, true. Very, very true.
This suspect was charged with obstructing, resisting, disorderly conduct, and harassment. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of...
Damn. Obstructing government operations. Yeah, not a rainbow. Resisting arrest. Yeah, of course. Disorderly conduct. Yeah. Harassment, strike, shove, kick, threaten. Oh, wow. They actually got him with harassment on that one. Yeah, dude. How weird. Alright. Next up, we've got decoy voice. Oh, and I'm sorry. This is Midwest Safety. Definitely check them out. If you like body cams, I would say they're probably one of the best ones. One of the best channels. For said thing. Alright, yeah, so next up we got decoy voice. Florida cops do not give a fuck.
What happens when theater kids grow up to become useless adults?
I hate theater kids. I hate them so much. I hated them in high school. I hate them at the age of 35. Don't care.
Their unemployed behavior becomes a plague on us all. As outside Florida's alligator Alcatraz, they thought song would stop federal law.
Fighting for immigrants and families that deserve to be safe. No one deserves to not come home.
Protesters use sing. It has no effect. I always like the Florida ones because they're usually the craziest released body cams. Oh yeah, dude. A lot of the, like, even though it says like Midwest Safety, there's usually body cams from all over the country. But yeah, the ones from Florida are wild.
Why are you being arrested?
I'm being arrested for peacefully protesting the horrible treatment of human beings by ICE agents.
It's called obstruction of justice.
That officer just straight up just slid in. It was just called like, yeah, no, it's obstruction of justice, bitch. Yes.
People are being treated.
Even as having been a theater kid, I was forced into it from stage crew. I'll hate them in several years from now too. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh man.
Now that Dade County Sheriff was arresting them for obstruction, which in this scenario only has a 1-year maximum penalty, but we're all hoping they continue.
Okay, so it looks like they were blocking in the ramp. I'm guessing like the van was probably like ICE, like supplies or inmates or whatever. And okay, so they were just blocking the road. Yeah, you know what? You could do that on a highway and it's still illegal, but I'm gonna tell you this right now: if you're doing it on federal property, they're just gonna fucking arrest you.
You there? I am not afraid, Chance, all the way to county jail, as a judge should throw the book at them just for their stupidity alone, as there's a 0% chance DHS would hear these.
Well, they should throw the book at them anyway, because by setting an example, others won't follow suit, ideally.
Chance.
Yeah, just max them out at a year. It's not bad. Give them a year vacation.
The law. But what's worse than when these EBT tribes try this? When a church in Charlotte thought the same, turning a gospel song into anti-ICE activism.
I think I saw this on Twitter.
Then going into combat training.
This was an event at a church there on
What?
Monday night. People acted out immigration detainments, and the rest of the room practiced filming them and making noise to call attention to them.
Imagine going to church to learn about Jesus, only to spend your time learning.
Yeah, she's going to be very ready to be grappled by an ICE agent.
Old men afraid of blue vests, as unfortunately for them, the feds were somehow not deterred by the church's training. As all across the country, the left seems to have unlimited free time to collectively accomplish nothing, as these are likely those same climate activists finding a brand new grift after they finally started handing out hefty prison sentences to them, as their story arc heads in the same direction, where a main source of contention is the massive
you just throw the book at 'em.
activity outside Home Depots.
It all happened outside the Carecen Day Labor Center next to the Home Depot. Within seconds, they launched gas canisters. One person tries to run and is chased by an officer.
Yeah, they keep protesting while acting weirdly religious. This is what happens when you replace God with the state. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. You know, when I was younger, I'll tell you a quick story and then we'll get back into it. But when I was younger, I was probably like a senior in high school at the time. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was rather militantly atheist during this age. Not very proud of it, but just is what it is during that era of my life. And I was like, man, we should just abolish I mean, it was completely naive and stupid reasoning because I was 18 and dumb. But it was like, yeah, no, man, it would be just so much easier if we could just get rid of religion and then everything will just kind of be fine after that. And then my buddy, who's not very religious, actually countered. He goes, if you do that, people are just going to replace it with something else. Now, he didn't say specifically what that something else was, because this is way before any of this shit was even a twinkle in anyone's eye. But he was basically right. Like, people just replaced it with something else. Yeah, glowies.
Officer, he falls down, gets up, and still tries to run. This man says he saw the agents and screamed out, ICE is here.
He called me and he said that he was at Home Depot and that there was guys with guns in the parking lot. And he's like, I think it's ICE. And I was like, are you sure?
Okay, is he illegal? Because if he's legal, then there's no problem.
And then his line went dead. I live nearby, so I rushed over here.
I'm sure she was certain it was ICE. Otherwise, she wouldn't be rushing over to a place that had guys with guns in the parking lot. But she simultaneously needs to fearmonger over unknown masked men in Home Depot while being completely confident that they were law enforcement.
I pull up to him running across the parking lot, people tackling him, and one guy got in my face with mace and was like,
I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex.
I'm gonna mace you back up. I was like, why are you gonna mace me? And then I go around to try and record what they're doing to him, and one guy gets right in front of me and trying to block me and starts pushing me. I said, don't touch me.
Why were they going to mace me as I continue to do the only action that could get me maced, where it seems their only objective is victimhood? Again, accomplishing nothing. The funniest aspect of
Wow. Shocker.
about this specifically is Home Depot has to have the largest concentration of blue-collar workers intolerant of unemployed nonsense, as originally they tried to get their workers to join their side.
You don't want to look at it? You don't want to hear it? We're customers.
You can send it to our media relations.
Then marched in boycott of
Yeah, man, I'd be like, no, look, I'm here to work. I'm not here to sign your shit. Hey, I think the kick stream is about a minute behind, FYI. Okay, hang on, let me just restart it here real quick. Stand by, kick. Let me check over here. Hey, I think the kick stream is about a minute behind, FYI. Hang on, let's see if we can get kicked back online here. I don't know what happened. Oh, now it's saying that it's... Start all. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, I see the test there. Yeah, I don't know why Kick has such a frickin' problem sometimes. Hang on, let me see where I'm at. Yeah, it almost seems like it's... I see the test there. Yeah, it's still lagging behind a little bit. Well, not really much I can do on that, unfortunately. Man, it's pooping out pretty hard. Yeah, sorry, Kick. We're just gonna have to be time buddies, I suppose.
ICE, waving all the flags of the countries they demand they not be sent to.
Yeah, Rumble seems kind of hit or miss.
You simply can't take them seriously when they continuously represent all the countries that violently enforce their border laws while demanding the US doesn't. As for some reason, we need to feed them because the labor unions will somehow stop federal law enforcement. This only sounds stupid because it is stupid. But if they're going to blame the hardware store for border enforcement, of course their stupidity would also have no borders, as obviously ICE kept making arrests outside Home Depot, so they took their protests inside the stores.
Yeah, I saw this one on Twitter as well. Apparently they were buying, I think it was like $1 like paint scrapers, like plastic paint scrapers. And then they would buy it, and then they would go to the return line, and then basically back up the return line and return said scraper. He'll probably show it. Look at that smug smile, dude. Fine, I guess I'll be over on Twitch this time, though I guess I'm less... Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I appreciate it. I don't know what's going on with Kick. Maybe... I don't know if it's on my end or their end. I'll have to investigate later.
Even wasting their workers' time.
Yep, this is it.
By continuously buying
right here.
ice scrapers and returning them on
they're ice scrapers.
Despite the fact that those aren't ice scrapers.
Yeah, they're paint scrapers. Yeah, putty knives. Yeah, that's what it was.
Idiots aren't going to know that, as I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first time most of them have ever stepped foot inside a hardware store. But they're apparently protesting.
I'd say that'd be probably the first time they've ever held a putty knife.
Home Depot allegedly having a $250 million contract with ICE to stake out their
plastic ice scrapers. Yeah,
threads.
Because they tied it.
And even the DHS had to clarify they don't need private businesses' permission to enforce federal laws.
Yeah.
Don't let silly things like facts stop the unemployed hordes from marching in Home Depot the way some poor hourly workers shift, buying and returning the same item over and over because social media weaponized their shoe-sized IQs. And it's a common occurrence as they protest outside hotels if they think ICE agents are inside.
What are you, an ICE agent?
Yes, ICE, there's no sleep for the wicked. You make these cries, you dear.
Only for this instance, to be a blue-collar union.
What are you doing here? You're staying in a hotel? That's good.
No, we're union pipe fitters. All of us are union pipe fitters.
That's very impressive. Why are you guys out here
This glows.
It's such a hilarious cell
Pipe
phone
fitters.
for these idiots to see masculinity and automatically affiliate it with ICE agents.
It would be
As if
funny
there
if they
would
actually were
be
pipe
no
fitters,
other
although I don't
reason
know,
for
3 in the
them to
morning is a little
congregate
sus.
Unless they were the feds. Again, showing us they have no idea what employment looks like. But sadly, this is spread to the kids, as schools experience mass...
Oh yeah, I saw this too. So there was this, like, on the same walkout, there were these 2 gals that were walking out and then, I guess, filming a TikTok. They might show it, they probably won't, I don't know. But, like, she was like, the only people that are not participating in the walkout are white people. And it's like, well, yeah, because I've got some studying to do, bitch. I actually want to graduate and get out of this fuck.
Walkouts in protest of ICE.
Across the city,
they might show it.
staged walkouts. School officials say that district-wide, more than 30,000 students, roughly 22%, were absent on Monday.
The only people that stayed back
This is it.
Were white people. I literally looked at
Oh, they blurred her face out.
They were all white.
Saying that only the white
that was
kids
it.
value education or skipping school for a protest that will accomplish
Interesting self-own.
nothing isn't quite the own she thinks it is.
Yeah,
If
interesting.
only there was a place that could educate her other than this public school that is obviously failing, as these anti-ICE protests have been active for 5 months, and all they've accomplished is activating Operation Swamp Sweep over in Mississippi. North Carolina is seeing Operation Charlotte's Web despite these student walkouts.
Dude, these operation names are fucking gold. They're fucking... I love them, dude. They're so gold. I don't know who's doing the naming over there in the Department of War.
As Operation Midway Blitz has been escalated...
Or maybe
to
it's
forces
Homeland
in
Security.
Chicago,
Whoever it
and
is.
as Operation Bear Cave goes underway in New York, clamping down on illegals with CDLs, New York City
Thank God.
is about to get their own operation in the near future. It's not like any of these operations are secret, so leftists have to be at least acutely aware of how badly they're losing. And you would think they would
We have
wanna
to work,
change
we
up
don't
their
expect
tactics,
handouts. Yep.
But that would require them to think. So if you appreciate my concise, light-hearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice. Kindness
Yes,
to criminals is actually what happens when...
Yes, subscribe to Decoy Voice. He is great. Him and Cash, man. Give him some love. Here, I'll give him a like on that. Let's just let's take a look at some of the comments here. I always like to take a little peeksy. Let's see. They would never fight this hard for their legal neighbors. Yeah, no, true. Open borders is not empathy, it's treason. Yes. Strange that the previous 4 presidents deport 40 million illegals and we didn't see protest. Almost like something else is going on here. Peaceful protesting, not when blocking the roads. Yep. If you're going to this church, you're going to the wrong church. You sure are. Department of Get them the fuck out. Yep. Yep, time to go home. Alright, so I actually watched this. So this was originally from GB News. But it looks like Liberal Hive Mind did kind of a little video on it. I've seen the original already, but it's pretty fucking wild. This is, again, Liberal Hive Mind on this one here. Antifa whistleblower confirms the conspiracy. Ooh. That's not the way that GB News labeled it, but that's how Mr. Hive Mind did. So let's take a look and see what we got going on here.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course,
when you're trying to cut back on posting memes, but the government won't stop doing crazy stuff. Dude, true and real.
here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. You know, there's this whole premise that the left loves creating in their defense of Antifa. That Antifa is an idea, it's a philosophy, it's a way of thinking, that it's all grassroots and totally organic. It's just like-minded individuals who all genuinely feel the same call to action and mobilize in the streets organically against the fascist powers that be. It's a common culture, right? That's basically the story they try to spin. But while that's obvious bullshit, it. The truth is,
Yes.
there is a common culture when speaking of the Antifa archetype, and it's essentially a culture of political Karenhood, where you adopt this persona, this entire new identity, it seems, that seems to
Yeah, they're fucking hall monitors. That's what they are. Like, just that simple. They're just hall monitors. And nobody liked the hall monitors, ever. Oh.
be built around one very simple cheat code. Just declare my enemies evil, and therefore everything I do is justified and every argument has been won before the first line of debate. This is the culture of Antifa. It's the culture of the left-wing activist. It's not about winning arguments. No, it's about simply just granting yourself immunity, moral superiority, moral permission to dominate.
Yeah, that frog is
Therefore,
literally me
any
for
room.
real.
Left-wing thought has run amok, and I actually have an interesting video from an Antifa whistleblower, an individual who has left the organization and is now speaking.
Yeah, this
out.
was really
Well,
interesting.
He made a very interesting point, and I think it really speaks again to the Antifa archetype. I mean, let's truly delve into the liberal hive mind here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So, of course, when every political disagreement eventually immediately takes a left turn into you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, you're a dangerous extremist, you should be shunned, exiled, your ideas censored, all the way to...
No, that's just them saying they want to kill you. That's it.
Sent to re-education camps, essentially an ideology headed towards a new
That's if you're lucky.
generation. Obviously, when your entire worldview revolves around pointing the finger at the other side and calling them some sort of irredeemable fascist, that label no longer carries weight. It's obviously just
It doesn't
become a
mean anything
simple
anymore.
ideological
It's just
tool.
it's just
It's
a
used as
marker.
the first sign of resistance. It's less of a description and more
It's just
of
a marker.
license to kill, so to speak. Well, essentially, we've been saying that for years, but now listen to it from somebody who describes himself as former Antifa.
They say they're going to kill someone, or
they
think it's justified to attack someone because they're a fascist, for example.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like whether it's people deserve to die, they have no human rights. It's like calling someone a Nazi or a fascist. It's a way to just dehumanize them. You can do whatever to them. You can assault them. It's funny to them. They laugh about it. They don't kill you because you're a fascist. They call you a fascist so they can kill you. You know, it's just a way.
The Sam Hyde quote lives rent-free in my head.
To dehumanize people and threaten them. Originally, they were trying to bully and threaten like what they would consider right-wing extremists, like Proud Boys or like Christian nationalists, you know, that show up to protests or events. They're bullying them. That's not the target anymore. Now the target is anyone that doesn't agree with them.
Quote, they don't kill you because you're a fascist.
Something, they came for them and I didn't do anything. Then something, they came for me and no one stood up for me. Something. All it means is now I feel morally justified in ending your existence. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm glad we've come to the point that that's no longer obfuscated and it's clearly obvious.
They call you a fascist so they could kill you. And that
Yeah.
line right there is everything. It says everything about the modern...
Like I said, it's just a marker. That's it. It's like throwing Hunter's mark on a bull or on a boar in World of Warcraft. It's no fucking different.
left. When they can't debate you, well, step number 2, instead of accepting defeat, is to dehumanize you. They don't genuinely believe that every person in a MAGA hat, all of us, are actually some sort of evil spawn of Mussolini. No, they need you to be Mussolini in their politically schizophrenic mind so they can essentially do what they want with you, dominate you, overpower you ideologically, and obviously all of it for an egocentric purpose, to paint themselves as...
They just want to control you. It's just simple as that. I mean, look. Take pronouns, for example. In a standard conversation that you would have with anybody, when do you use pronouns? You use it, you use them to refer to a person that is not currently participating in the active conversation. Normally, you wouldn't use pronouns in front of the person if they were actually in the conversation with you. It's usually that they're not there. So why are they so hard on about pronouns? It's because they want to control what you think of them and how you speak of them when they are not present, essentially behind their back. And while you should not talk behind people's backs, it's obvious control. That's it. Simple as.
Victorious, righteous, virtuous, and you, of course, you're the fascist, the racist, the alt-right. But of course, these are just stamps to dismiss and dehumanize you and your belief system and elevate theirs. It's the same archetype over and over again, the same exact guy, the same exact septum ring power-hungry chick with those dead eyes about to pop out of their damn skulls.
Why is it always septum rings too, man? Like, I know nose ring theory is kind of a meme, but it's like, man, it's a good meme because it's pretty fucking true. Like, I'm to the point now where if I see a nose ring, it's like, I don't even... I just almost kind of assume what's about to happen. And, you know, sometimes I'm wrong, but most of the time I'm right.
I don't even necessarily have to explain it. I could just visually describe it and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it always seems to be the dregs of society, the same resentful, angry, miserable people who seem to be in denial of their own ineptitude and their own failures, whether moral or professional. And so rather than look within and accept said failures, no, they double down, justify the unimaginable, the unjustifiable, and then just label anybody who disagree the real problem.
Yep.
In fact, such a problem that they call for you to lose your damn rights if you dare challenge their new social norms. And of course, all of this now flips
Septum
the
ring
script,
theory,
at least
yeah,
in their
exactly.
minds. They're no longer the loser. No, they're now the soldier of a righteous purpose, and you're the enemy. Cling on all the...
Ironically enough, they look like scabs from Tarkov.
grievance narratives, because of course those are your most powerful tools since they basically explain away every failure. The issue is capitalism, or it's racial supremacy on a systemic level. It's the patriarchy, misogyny, it's colonialism, and white-centric culture. Always some big system, some faceless oppressor, or if you can find a face, you know, like President Trump, and then just, there you go, slap it as the new boogeyman of your own frickin' ideological delusions. And of course, the delusion part is very important because
yeah, I wonder what they're going to do when Trump leaves office. Who's going to be the next face?
Creating, and then of course project it outward. Anyone who disagrees
and
with
it's not
me
going to stop.
Is a fascist, the lowest of the low. You're scum, peasant.
Of course, unless something is actually done about it. National Guard, I'm looking at you.
And I am the moral arbiter of truth. Now please allow me to continue doing what I was doing, dressing in black clad, blocking my face, and going to throw orange paint on the Mona Lisa, because of course, checks notes, find the grievance narrative of the day, the big oil companies with the big healthcare companies, or Marais.
Checks email, what are we protesting today? Oh, right, stop oil, right, I forgot, it's Wednesday. The transgender march is tomorrow. Yeah, I had it mixed up in my calendar. Sorry about that, Soros.
Systemic racisms. Ooh, George Floyd died. Let me make it all about
the problem
me.
is them and their ilk.
Put the friggin' orange paint on my head and kneel down on the ground with a fist up in the air. It's a moral superiority complex, and it comes at the cost of doing anything actually valuable, and of course at the cost of constant
Vance is
social
next.
destruction.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is like Vance, dude, I think he'll be able to handle it better than Trump, dude. Just the fact that he's just like an absolute meme lord. Like, ooh, that'll be very interesting. He's gonna fire back real hard.
See, they claim to be so virtuous and compassionate, yet they're gleeful about their own cruelty, it seems.
He's got to be running in the next term. He's got to be, man. There's like really no one else that can really follow up on Trump here. I would say Vance has got to be it.
I've seen it a million times all over social media. The left loves this stuff. They get incredible joy.
Yeah, they get a boner from it.
Labeling people and destroying their careers. That's why I will never take a lecture from them on Bud Light or any other form of whatever you could call right-wing cancel culture. Because if anything, it's a phenomenon that rised in counter to what the left was doing. And of course, it's not a phenomenon that seems to, be reoccurring on the left. It only comes during actual acute incidences. Meanwhile, the left, it's the base basis of their entire freaking ideology. Disagree with me and I'll punch you in the face. Disagree with me and I'll freaking put you in prison. Disagree with
And you know what's funny is that if you have to resort to that as far as like an ideology goes, that means that you have a shitty ideology. Because anybody in the free market of ideas will just absolutely eviscerate your position, so you have to resort to violence. It's almost like a child throwing a tantrum. But these people are 35 years old.
with me and I'll get you fired from your job, debanked, deplatformed all over social media, business decimated. I'll dox you, I'll swat you, I'll harass your family members, all the way to going as far to frickin' murder, it seems, in very unfortunate situations to the extreme. Charlie Kirk's murder, and of course Aaron Danielson. This is the...
That does remind me of the new billboards popping up providing a hotline for soldiers to report illegal orders are tied to the Soros Foundation, already found on their entire website. Shit's funny, but they have to be held in account for this, or this will never end. Yeah.
Far left culture that's been created.
No,
I think
absolutely.
in a lot of ways, describing it as far left.
They're putting up billboards for that now? Shit. They're really desperate, aren't they?
Left doesn't even necessarily describe it correctly, because it kind of implies in a way that it's a fringe, extremely small minority, but the reality is
What constitutes an illegal order, too? I mean, I'm sure there's, like, obviously, setting aside the extreme examples, but it's like, what? Is it going to boil down to just, like, orders I don't like? It could boil down to something as silly as that. Because I don't think Trump's going to give an order saying, like, hey, I need you to round up all of Antifa and then execute them. I don't think he's going to give that order.
seeing how the hive mind, how the group at large acts the moment they're in.
Don't
that
worry,
position of
Antifa, you're pretty
societal
safe.
power. You saw them for
Worst
years,
case, you'll just get
en masse
arrested.
Celebrate violence, celebrate free speech violations, abuses of the justice system and intelligence world. It's the culture of activism on the left. And this former Antifa guy, well, he basically blows the lid, but in a way more so just confirms what we already knew and exactly what we've been saying. Anyways, thanks for...
And hey, you know what? I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did, because, you know, that's just another feather in my cap. It's just another, it's just one more reason for me not to feel bad. So thank you. Anyway, that was Liberal Hive Mind. Definitely check him out. I'm going to give that a like. That was a good video. Oh, yeah. So I saw this. I saw little bits and pieces of this on Asmongold's stream, and I didn't catch the whole thing, so I figured I'd probably watch it here. Very desperate. I mean, anything according to the left is anything coming from Trump? Yeah, and yes. Yeah, exactly. So, crazed Democrat candidate dragged out screaming and crying from governor's office. This is State of Denial. I don't know if I don't think I've ever seen this dude's channel before, so let's check it out. We're gonna both learn today.
All eyes are about to turn to Ruby Red, Tennessee. So over the last few weeks and months,
well, there's a place called Ruby Red. That's a cool town name. I like that.
The Democrats have been dominating special elections. But that's raised the question. Has the Democrat overperformance been an indicator? Is it an early warning sign of an impending blue wave in next year's midterms? Or have all of these special elections just been flukes and unique circumstances?
I won't lie, I'm a little concerned about the midterms. I am a wee bit concerned.
Circumstances that can't be replicated on a nationwide level. So that's why all politicos are tuning in to Tennessee's special election in District 7, because if the Democrats can pull off an upset here, then it's definitely not a good sign for the GOP heading into next year's midterms. But there is a new wrinkle, because the Democrat candidate, Afton Ben, has been caught in a newly released video from 2019 where she attempted to storm Governor Lee's office. She was
2019, okay, so this is a while ago.
Caught by state police, dragged out of the office screaming and crying and acting as if she did nothing wrong. She's the victim in all of this.
Ooh. Ooh. Sorry, chat.
Sorry, that was completely unnecessary. We just need...
So what? So she didn't have authorized access in there and just kind of barged in.
That is unreasonable. Y'all should be ashamed.
Yeah, they don't fucking care. Oh wow, they
So
all
as
wanted
you can
deep
see
blue
here,
states.
she's
Yeah.
sobbing for the cameras, the photo op. I doubt she would have been crying and screaming and still on the ground at this point if it weren't for the fact that the press was around.
Was right
Afton
there.
Knew exactly what she was doing. As you saw at the top of the video, she charged. She was running into the governor's office.
She's gotta put those theater kid skills in action there.
Those police officers have no idea whether or not she is a security threat, so they have to handle her like a security threat, which is why they dragged her out. Notice they didn't beat her, they didn't punch her, they didn't even arrest her. To me, she got off really easy.
Yeah, they just moved her out of the room.
So it's ridiculous that her and her assistant pretended to claim that she was the victim in all of this. Now, this did happen 6 years ago, so maybe some people are wondering, well, Daniel, she's matured since then. Maybe she's learned her lesson. We've all done dumb things when
I'm gonna guess she hasn't.
we were kids. Well, personally, I've never rushed a governor's office. That's one thing, but she hasn't learned her lesson.
Oh fuck, that was the governor's office? Oh yeah, no, yeah, bitch, you getting removed out of that area.
And in fact, she seems to have gotten more insufferable.
Yeah,
since
she was
that
acting
moment.
awful. Yep.
She is running
Yep.
to represent Tennessee's District 7 in the House of Representatives. But what is the biggest part of Tennessee District 7? Well, she's going to represent part of Nashville, Tennessee, you know, the capital of Tennessee and the largest city in the state. Well, listen to what she had to say about Nashville.
And heavily involved with the Nashville mayoral race because I hate the city, I hate the bachelorettes, I hate the pedal tap.
This is an AI? Because, boy, that just took a fucking turn.
Taverns, I hate country music, I hate all of the things that make Nashville, apparently, an it city to the rest of the country, but I hate it. Yeah, I'm not...
Who's this chick? What's her name? Afton Ben? AFTYN. Oh boy. Hang on. Hang on, chat. What a terrible way to spell the name Afton. Oh, she was born in Knoxville. Went to University of Texas at Austin. So she hates her home. Okay, so she left her home state for college. Comes back. Says how much she basically hates her home state, specifically Nashville. Like...
girl at the airport that all these bachelorettes are giddy walking out in their two-toned colored Pantone pink
I thought she was going to be a carpetbagger, to be quite honest with you. Like, I was expecting her to be like, born in Massachusetts.
shirts, and they walk out and I'm like...
She's the most honest Democrat, yeah.
That's so loud.
If you hate this
Wow, her voice is also awful.
city, why are you running to represent the city and the district as a whole? Why not move somewhere else? It's one thing to run, right? Because you want to make a difference and because you want to make the city and the district a better place. But if you just hate it, I don't trust you to represent the people here. So that right there is just absolutely ridiculous. But even though she is obviously crazy, obviously hateful, and just all the synonyms for the word nuts, the Democrats, they're going all in on her. So according to Politico, House Democrat Super PAC drops $1 million on Tennessee's special election. House Majority PAC is wading deep into a deep red special election signal.
It's because the Democrats don't have anybody. They're trying their hardest to try to, like, fish out another person that they can, like, actually front run for something.
Democrats continue,
but they don't have any cards to play.
Overperformance. The reason this is really notable is because it's not just the House PAC. The Democrat Party as a whole is also just going all in on this race. In fact, over 70 to 80% of the money in the race is coming from out of state. But this really tells you.
That shouldn't be legal. like, especially for a state race, and you're getting money from, like, outside of the state, that seems very dubious.
I think that the Democrats have strong faith that they can either flip this seat, it is a solidly red seat, they can either flip it or make it competitive. And the reason I believe this is because, according to the New York Times, short on cash, DNC took out $15 million loan in October. This has been confirmed by many other sources. The DNC has been in debt, and they are struggling to pay their bills. They've essentially had to downsize because Kamala Harris's campaign was such a fiscal burden on the organization as a whole. So if the DNC...
Wouldn't that be neat if they, like, go bankrupt? I don't know what that would look like. I don't know what that would entail, but that would be, that'd be very interesting to see.
Is in debt, if they're having to take out loans to pay their bills and survive and stay afloat, if their fundraising numbers are just plummeting and they're just not doing as well as you would think, either one of two things is true. Number one, they believe that they can really flip the seat, or at least make it competitive so they can plant their flag early and say, hey, the blue wave is real, those special elections weren't flukes, we're coming. Or option number two, they really are that dumb and they're just terrible with money and they're throwing money away because they can't read the tea leaves. I don't think there is any other option. I think one
it definitely shouldn't be legal. Yeah,
honestly,
it seems...
Sure. I think it would be 50-50. I mean,
I don't like that.
Are terrible at spending money. They spent over $1 billion, the most expensive presidential campaign ever, and Kamala Harris still lost in historic, legendary fashion. So I think that's possible. But if you take a look at the other special elections, and if you take a look at the trend for this particular district in Tennessee, it's not that far-fetched to say, hey, this could actually turn out to be a competitive race in less than 2 weeks. Now, the crazy thing is that Afton Ben is actually so radical, so crazy. I mean, you saw those two clips, right? She hates the district she's about to represent. She stormed the governor's office. Well, despite all of that, she's even more radical in her policies.
I would have never guessed.
And MS now actually called her out on air and gave her pushback.
Representative, in 2020, you made...
Dude. That is a predator dressed up as a fucking house pet. My ancient blood memory is coming to me saying, like, dude, that is straight up danger right there. That is danger.
Some tweets that have since been deleted that were very critical of police. You said in
Oh, board full of women. Wow.
those since deleted tweets that the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department should be dissolved. Another cheered on a teachers union saying that defund the police should be a requirement for schools reopening. And another saying good morning, especially to the 54% of Americans that believe burning down a police station is justified. 2020 was obviously a very fraught year. Do you still stand by those comments? And if not, is there anything you want to clarify?
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that...
Did you see that look? Oh my god, chat. Did you see? Hang on, we gotta see that again. Okay. Watch her face. Hang on. Here we go. Watch her face.
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that...
that head turn. Oh, it's just like...
Our communities need
excellent
solutions. We need local people deciding, solving local problems with local solutions, and that's not the overreach of a federal government or state government of which we are dealing with in Nashville and our cities across the state of Tennessee.
So you don't want to clarify
what a non-answer.
Whether you still believe that the police should be defunded.
Once again.
Hang on, she's activating evasion.
I don't remember these tweets, but what I'm saying is that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not asking you if you remember. What is your position today? How's that on this issue?
Oh, she's getting pressed.
I mean, once again, I'm here to talk about my race, which is in literally 9 days.
She doesn't want to talk about the issue because she doesn't want to lose her race. She knows that that is an
Yep.
unpopular issue. Again, the Democrats usually have that. Somehow they have the talent, the knack of.
And the look at disdain on the reporters. Oh, yeah, dude, that head turn was just absolutely fucking perfect. Just like... Here we go.
Choosing the 20 side in 80-20 issues. I have no idea how they managed to do that time and time again. And you could tell the MS Now host was even disgusted with her. For her to say, hey, I don't want to talk about and engage in your cable news talking points. Those were your posts. Those were your words being used against her. She is even now going on the record saying that Republicans are twisting her words. She's claiming that she never said that she hates Nashville or her.
Oh, those darn dirty Republicans. They made me say awful things years ago. Oh, it's all their fault.
District. She's claiming she's the victim in all of this.
Republicans decided that they're going to
I can't wait for her to say sorry that she got caught.
start this narrative that me, the state representative who represents downtown Nashville, doesn't like the city.
Because I hate the city, I hate the bachelorettes, I hate the pedal taverns, I hate country music. I
I'm surprised she didn't say that she hates black people.
hate all of the things that make Nashville, apparently.
Like the MS host now said, what are your views on it now? Look, if the Democrats actually manage to pull this off and take Tennessee District 7, it's going to be a massive blow in Congress. I know a lot of people celebrated when MTG resigned. I know a lot of people don't like her, but to me, you know, you can have whatever opinion you want when it comes to Marjorie. You can say she's a traitor. You can say she's untrustworthy just because she went on CNN or the.
I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I'm kind of indifferent overall.
90% of the time. If you take a look at her voting record, she's a lot more consistent than most Republicans in Congress. So it is a fraught time because Republicans are losing a seat, and yes, she'll be replaced with another Republican, but it's probably realistically going to end up being a rhino, and that's why the Democrats are going all in. According to The Hill, Democrats look to cap off winning streak with Tennessee's special election. While there aren't a lot of new polls on this, the only good polling I've seen, and it's not even a poll, they're just data points, came from Steve Kornacki on MS Now.
Into the south to some rural areas, so sort of a mix in this district, a very Republican district. You wouldn't normally talk about this district being at all potentially competitive except here.
That's right. So this district typically isn't competitive. The reason it's so competitive now is, well...
Dude, that district looks like a New Jersey. It looks like little tiny New Jersey.
Number one, the polling does show that it's tighter. There hasn't been a lot of, like, good... I don't think...
Wait, that is New Jersey. Oh yeah, derp. That's why. Because it actually is New Jersey. Fuck.
Seen like an
Retarded.
Atlas Intel poll or Rasmussen poll, right? On this specific.
I thought that was like a county in frickin' Tennessee. I was like, wow, it looks just like New Jersey.
The Democrats have been over.
Because it is New Jersey.
How they did in 2024, and if you actually take a look at this, at all of these special elections, in the very middle here, you'll see how President Trump performed, or how these districts performed in 2024. He did better. These districts went more red than they did in 2020. Now, on the very left, you'll have the results.
Probably done to keep her from being target from the left now that she's out. I don't know. I think she was more of a target from the right, honestly.
Or Virginia 11, Arizona 7. The Democrats overperformed. And in fact, the Republicans, not only did they perform worse than they did in 2024, but they performed worse than they did in 2020. So, assuming this trend holds, that means that Tennessee 7, I mean, if Republicans are going to underperform or Democrats are going to overperform, they might not win the seat, but they would bring Tennessee 7 into the single digits, because in 2020, it was 15 points. So if the Democrats actually bring this into the single digits, or lo and behold, if they pull off a major upset in Tennessee, I think this is going to be, you know, it's definitely going to send shockwaves through the political world, I think. When it came to New York City's mayoral race, New Jersey, Virginia, you know, I think both sides read into it however they wanted, and you can make the argument either way. I think this right here is either going to prove that, yes, those were fluke elections and there really is no blue wave coming, or it's going to make Republicans nervous. Now, that's not necessarily bad news heading into next year. All it is, again, is an early warning sign. And warning signs exist so you can take action now, so the party can prepare. They can lay the foundation to make sure that the blue wave never materializes. As always, though, all of this is just my analysis and commentary. This is what's happening in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. So the question of the day, like I said earlier, the Democrats are pouring huge money into this race, even though they are in huge financial trouble. Are they pouring the money into the race because they think they can actually flip it, or do you think they're just wasting money and it's poor fiscal management? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
I think they think they're going to try to flip it. They're going all in. Especially with all the other races that he just mentioned with those wins. I think I think they believe they have an advantage and they're gonna press it. They're gonna try to press it. So that was State of Daniel. Daniel? State of Daniel. Good video. I'm actually gonna subscribe to him. That was a very good video. I like that. Give him a check out. Alright, here's something a little bit more fun. This is called Fuck Airplanes by Jimmy Talks. I have not seen any of his work. So let's find out and see how it goes. Fuck airplanes. Dude, I never like flying. If I have the option of either doing a road trip or flying, I'm doing a road trip. I don't care how long it takes. Flying is miserable.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jimmy Talks. So if you watch my videos regularly, you know that this is not the kind of videos that I normally do. And if you don't watch normally, then the message still applies. But you're probably wondering the same thing regardless. Why
Is that Power Washer Simulator?
Airplanes? Well, it's because they've really turned it to just like a big corporate shitification thing. And all
that too.
Dignity and comfort has just been dismantled. It's just been taken away from us. And it's really a basic service that was really reduced down to, boost shareholder value. And, it's degraded for such a while now, it's hard to tell.
I know Southwest has really fallen off. I used to really like Southwest quite a bit, but they're not, they're just not the same anymore.
When it all just started going...
I have a different opinion. They are going to go all out because they are out of options. I mean, yeah, you know what? You're probably not wrong on that either. It's probably a little bit of both. Because at this point, it's like, well, we have to play the game.
The shit. And I really think, I looked into this, and I think it was really just like slowly over time. It was like a death of 1,000 cuts kind of way. Now, let me explain why I fucking hate airplanes. This all starts, like the shitty airplane experience, before you even get on the airplane. It starts when you're at home, when you're on your phone or your computer. And it starts out when you're on the website to go buy your seats. It's
the other sites are terrible.
Charges everywhere. Do you want to make sure your seat is close to your family? That'll be extra. Do you need to check a bag because you're tired of the whole overhead bin thing and people stuffing their suitcases up with 40 pounds of bricks and beans? More money. Are you craving some sort of comfort with a few more inches of leg room? Get your credit card out. It's just like, dude, can I stop being graped for like just 5 seconds, please? It's almost like they've taken the entire concept of flying on an airplane, like a purchase service, so you pay to fly on their airplanes, and they've hollowed them out. And they sell you back the features they took away at a premium. The advertised prices are always a lie, and it's just a way to lure you back in. Then, before you even get on the plane, you have this whole like demeaning and just largely just a performative ritual that's run by the TSA. You're herded through these lines that are almost like
TSA is awful,
and you're forced to take off your shoes, your belts, take your laptop out of your bag. You're subjected to these invasive scanners and pat downs by an elderly woman or like a really fat, sweaty guy. It seems like it's really just suspicion. It's not courtesy. Like, the entire process is just designed to treat every person.
Oh, fun news, though. Pan Am is kind of coming back through its luxury service for rich boomers. Oh, of course. Well, that's what boomers need, just more shit.
Person going on an airplane from a grandma to some businessman as a potential terrorist.
Mm.
And it sets a tone of like just institutional distrust and powerlessness that just sets the tone. Then once you're done with the TSA rub down, you make it through there, you're going to like the gate areas. It's where you get on the planes and all that stuff. And you can't bring your water because the water might be used to make a bomb or some shit. So you have to go and buy some water from some overpriced store.
Oh, that's right. Anything
$20.
over like
And, you know,
8
God
ounces,
forbid
I
you're
think, or
hungry
6
something,
ounces.
Because a burger, that shit is like $45.
Yep.
You try to go and like charge your phone or something, and there's 16 people gathered around a single outlet, and then you plug your phone in, and the charger just falls right out of the wall. And you've been standing there for a while charging your phone, and you're like, okay, I want to go sit down, and then the chair's hard as fuck. And
Yeah,
then
those
it's
chairs
time
are
to get
not
on the
comfortable.
airplane, and you have people cutting in through the lines and stuff. It's stressful. They call people by groups and status levels first. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but like it's true.
Business
And then
class,
everyone just
please line
crowds
up.
the gate anyway. So like group 1 and then like group 46. That guy's standing in front of everybody for some reason. Okay, so now you've made it through getting your credit card gouged. You've made it through the TSA sexual rub down portion. Then you've made it through the $4,000 for a bottle of water area. Now you're on the plane.
Yep.
And this is when you just get hit with more decay. Like, they call these seats, and I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration. What actually awaits you in your seat is just some thinly padded plastic that somebody's farted and shitted in like 14 million times. And God help you if you're taller than, I don't even, like 5'3", because these seats just have absolutely no leg room. And the guy behind you, he's shoving his foot, and you're already tiny little leg room area. And you know, God forbid, you also want to recline your seat a little bit, because now this is like an act of aggression with the guy behind you.
Yep.
It's like a seat back war. And you just have no space. You can't win. You're packed in like a herd. And you know, if you're sitting in the middle seat, the guy next to you probably wants to take your arm. It's like people don't understand.
Oh, the
whole
armrests.
entire,
Yeah, dude, the
like,
armrest
arm
arms.
space room
Yeah.
rule. And then, you know, you get your seat, and then there's like
To be fair though, the middle seat does suck really fucking hard.
a family of 12, and they're like, hey, actually, I didn't want to spend more money to get another seat with all of my family, so can you just switch with me? And then you have to say yes or no to them. And that's usually just what it is when people ask to switch seats. They just didn't want to pay more, and they're just planning on going on the plane and saying, hey, I'm going to make you feel bad if I can't sit next to all my family, so...
You'd be
let
like,
me have
plan
your
better
seat."
next time,
And, you
bitch!
know, people back in the day also, when you were flying in the air, it doesn't even matter where you were. You used to get some meals. Now you just get some stale pretzels and a drink.
You don't even
As if
get
you
that
aren't paying
anymore.
enough already. You know, let's take away
You don't even get the
food
bag
that
of
we used to give
peanuts.
people to make the flight a little bit more bearable. And if this just wasn't bad enough, if you just want to make your flight a little more bearable, then you have to buy the Wi-Fi. You can't use, obviously, you can't use like.
Wait, Wi-Fi is not standard on planes? You have to buy that? Ugh. I thought we were past this.
Like your data when you're 4,000 feet, however up high in the air that you are. And when you're also flying inside of the cabin, it's just like a melting pot of like the worst people you've ever met with zero spatial awareness. Like the guy who's, again, we're getting into the recliner seat war, or the one guy who wants to take his shoes off because that's appropriate for some reason, or the person who just wants to sit next to you and talk for 4 hours straight because they think it's a good time to share their entire life story. And then finally, at the end of the day...
Whenever that happens, I just look over. I'm like, okay, Tyler Durden, like, this isn't Fight Club. Leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep.
There's still accountability, or lack thereof, from the airlines themselves. They just don't care. Like, if they fail, they don't care. If something is delayed, like a flight, because it's raining,
When flying to Hawaii, we actually got a full meal, but that was only for the flight from DFW. On the way back through LAX was not so lucky. And the Wi-Fi can come free, but it's like a 25% chance. Yeah, I figured it's probably based on who you're flying with. Like, I'm sure I almost guarantee you it's not free with, like, Spirit Airlines.
states away or something.
Hell, you
It's
gotta,
just
like,
tough shit, you know.
buy
If you
leg
lost your
room,
luggage- or
or
they
they'll
lost
just
your
have you
luggage,
stand.
really. It's just a problem to solve. It's like going through a maze. the customer service is all automated, or it's all like Indian reps who barely speak English. So
Yep.
yeah, airplanes, I just hate airplanes. Airplanes suck now just because of a lot of regulation. They suck. I hate it. Like, you have the luxury of driving, or you can get your real ID so the government can track you better so that you can fly. And then you can be packed in like a bunch of Amazon boxes on a box truck or something like that.
Yeah, that's the other problem too, is like now you have to have a real ID. Nothing is free with Spirit. Yeah, dude. I don't even think cabin air is free. I think you gotta like pay for that too.
So yeah, basically they've just taken the miracle of human innovation and they've turned it into fucking dog shit. So
Go figure. All right, hang on, chat. Give me a couple seconds here. I'll be right back. One moment. There we go. Forgot to grab my water. I was like, where's my water at? I was like, ah, shit. All right. Got about 4 more videos here. Man, we've been really, I really stacked them up here. I'll try not to pause nearly as much so we can like get through these a little bit faster, but not that I guess we're not really in any rush, but
in a world of soulless.
All right, so this is the deserved downfall of Duolingo from Internet Art Anarchist. I've never seen this guy's channel either, so this should be kind of interesting. I used Duolingo for like a little bit, but I don't know, it never really stuck with me. And then it starts making you feel bad and shit like that. It's like, you haven't logged on in like 5 days. You're gonna make this owl cry. And I'm like, I don't fucking care, bro. I ain't learning shit. So let's take a look and see what we got here.
Corporations pretending to care about users for profit.
Nah, Nestle. Fuck Nestle.
Duolingo managed to become the...
After having almost died a couple of times, being the stubborn through the night driver, I'll take chances with flying.
Ideal example of how a billion-dollar company should build a genuine connection with their users. From expertly marketing their mascot Duo the Owl with relatable memes, to having a mission of making the world a better place, Duolingo has always had a place in the heart of its users. Unfortunately, one out-of-touch decision has completely derailed the relationship and forced many of their most dedicated users to quit using the app entirely. Should I kill my streak over this AI BS?
Wait,
to
what?
make matters worse, their uncanny response to the situation only pushed fans further away and strengthens the notion that they didn't really understand their users.
Hello, world. I'm a part of Duolingo's social team, and it's time you all learn the truth. Enough is enough. If you have seen this video, oh no, my plan has worked.
Commie language detected. Yeah.
Those in power. It is time we show them who's in charge.
We'll see what's up.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be examining the rapid reputational downfall of Duolingo, what they did to turn their user base against them, and why their attempts to quell the controversy only intensified it.
Get on with it.
Duolingo is one of those companies that seems capable of doing the impossible. Not only did they turn a free product into a profitable business worth over $20 billion,
holy shit,
but they also managed to do it
damn,
while staying true to the values the company was founded on. However, getting to that level of success wouldn't have been possible without a seemingly unshakable connection with their users. For those unfamiliar with Duolingo, it's a language learning app that uses game-like mechanics to keep users engaged and assists them at achieving fluency in a given language. The app's bright colors, leaderboards, streaks.
I wonder if anyone actually has like become fluent by using Duolingo. Like, and I'm not talking the commercials. Of course, the commercials are going to be like, "Oh, well, of course, you can learn a whole new language and all this other stuff." I'd actually want to hear someone that like used the app, like a real person, and see if they actually learned how to become, like, actually got fluent in a language. That would be very interesting.
And the iconic
that isn't green text on 4chan either.
Mascot Duo the Owl are all surface level hooks designed to keep users.
I tried it for Russians, no such luck. Yeah, I tried it with Japanese and didn't go so hot.
Duolingo's mission is to create a free language education alternative available to everyone. This mission was so compelling that even before Duolingo's launch in late 2012, the app had over.
Oh man, I forgot it came out in 2012, dude. That was, man, because yeah, I was working at Walmart at the time. I'd be sitting in the break room and doing like Duolingo on my break time.
500,000 users on their wait list. By the end of the following year, that number had grown to over 5 million users.
Jesus.
While being completely free was enough to bring in users, it wouldn't be enough to keep the company in business long term. This problem pushed Duolingo's founders, Louis von Ahn and Severin Hacker, to find alternative ways to generate revenue beyond charging users up front. Louis already had experience monetizing a free product when he created the website security service Capture, but doing the same with a language learning product would.
You're the motherfucker. You were working at Qdoba. Yeah, dude, Qdoba. Oh, man, that actually sounds pretty fucking good right now. But dude, Captcha, this is the fucker that made Captcha. Dude, fuck you. Fuck you, you pubic-haired piece of shit.
Be as easy. From experimenting with the ideas of selling user-made translations to including ads after lessons, Duolingo's founders spent the first 5 years of the company's existence searching for a way to generate sustainable cash flow from their users. Since they couldn't monetize Duolingo right away, the developers focused exclusively on improving the user experience and quality of lessons to maximize the time users spent engaging with the app.
And that's not paid user retention, that's just free. We were not making any money. For the first 5 years of Duolingo, we made $0. Like, we were not making any money. And because we were not making any money, we also weren't spending any money on marketing. So there was kind of nothing to do. We weren't spending any money on marketing, so there was not much to do there. We weren't making any money, so there was not much to do in terms of like working on the monetization of Duolingo.
Did you just not pay your employees then?
Teach better.
Unless it was just YouTube and just taking the hit.
That's all we did. So 5 years, we simply made the product stickier and stickier, and it really made a big difference.
While improving the Duolingo experience required continuous modifications, the development team didn't know or couldn't pinpoint which changes were making things enticing for users versus simply driving.
Sorry, I had a moment of primal rage there and had to slide this image of a bike over to fit a screen to respond.
Retention metrics.
Two things were happening. Number one, we would add the screen and we couldn't tell if the thing was better or not because we would see that the metrics were like either kind of flat, but if they were flat, we always found an explanation like, oh, it's because this week is Thanksgiving or whatever it is, and that's why. Normally we would have gone down, but because we added the screen, we didn't go down or something like that, like whatever. It just couldn't tell if things were actually helping or not. And in addition to that, we couldn't tell which idea was good and which wasn't because we're like, well, if we couldn't tell if that was a good thing or not, we, I don't know, was that a good idea or not? And so at some point it occurred to us, you know what, we should actually run one A/B test and figure out.
This guy talks a lot.
Was actually good. I remember we ran a test. I don't remember exactly what the feature was, but I remember there were like 4 options, and each one of us bet on which the option was going to be best. And we thought of ourselves as very good product people, and it turned out none of us were right.
From then on, changes to Duolingo were almost exclusively done through rigorous testing paired with user feedback. This feedback loop of testing features to identify and modify user metrics eventually gave rise to some of Duolingo's gamified components like XP, hearts, and leaderboards. The most important feature to come out of this testing cycle was the streak system. Every day users complete their lessons, they're congratulated by the app's mascot Duo and have their streak count go up by 1 day. This naturally kept users invested in returning to the app, but it was the developers handling the notifications that reminded.
See, that's what didn't hook me, and I know that's probably like the main draw is like the whole streak system, and I don't care about them for free to play games. I don't care about them for free to play apps. I might care for like the first week, but after that, I just don't give a shit anymore. It's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. I don't give whatever.
Users of their streak that really got them hooked, with notifications like, "Hi, it's Duo, make your screen time count, take a quick Japanese lesson now," and "Hi, I miss you, do you want to practice your Spanish today?" Like a friend or tutor trying to get you to study more, Duo the Owl built an emotional connection with users.
Yeah, he gaslit the fuck out of you.
And gently nudged users to return to the app. However, these notifications weren't sent out randomly or in perpetuity. If users didn't respond, they'd receive this borderline guilt-tripping message from Duo. "These reminders don't seem to be working. We'll stop sending them for now." This choice to respect their users proved highly effective in bringing them back to the app.
You know, we've always stopped sending notifications. We stopped using Duolingo. So if you don't use Duolingo, we stop after it used to be about 5 days. We're like, okay, after 5 days, whatever, you've given up. We're not going to spam you forever. And
You've given up.
We may as well tell people that we're
nice
stopping.
wordage,
So the last
asshole.
notification on the 5th day that we started sending was, "These reminders don't seem to be working. We're going to stop sending them for now," or something to that effect. It turned out that really got people to come back because they, it's this passive aggressive thing that they felt bad that Duolingo was giving up on them. And that is the first glimmer of personality that was just like, oh, this owl really wants me to be there and he's going to be passive aggressive. And I think that's kind of what gave rise to a lot of the memes, but I mean, we didn't. And so the personality of the owl has really evolved over time, and it's been kind of co-created by a lot of different Duolingo employees, but also by the community.
Around the same time users were receiving these emotionally charged notifications, the meme of Duo the Owl being an evil owl who resorted to any method necessary to get users to continue their lessons began to take shape online. Even the social media team behind Duolingo began feeding into the meme with ominous Twitter posts. The fanfare around Duo's antics transformed the streak system from an obligation to a badge of honor that saw users maintain their streaks for years. As the infamy of Duolingo streaks increased, so did the number of active users, growing from a few million to tens of millions of users. To make it easier for users to keep their streak and generate some revenue, the developers introduced streak freezes that could be purchased with the app's premium currency. This ultimately gave the Duolingo developers the breathing room to add to the Duolingo Plus subscription, which gave users infinite lives to answer the questions without worrying about mistakes and an extra streak freeze every month. Acting and adjusting their product based on user feedback allowed Duolingo's developers to effectively leverage their mascot to retain existing user engagement while drawing in fresh users. However, they had only scratched the surface of Duo's marketing potential and were about to discover just how impactful their little green friend was on fans. Between 2020
I mean, it's a well-designed mascot.
Management at Duolingo decided to pay more attention to marketing and public relations by advertising their product on social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Most companies push their products on social media very directly, but the marketing team behind Duolingo wanted to interact with fans more subtly. While they did start with generic posts like 10 words of X language, it wasn't until one of their social media marketing leads, Zaria Parvez, came up with the idea to use the company's mascots in videos they saw gain any real traction.
An office for the first time. Like, I always say the reason why our TikTok was so successful is because I didn't really know all that much about advertising, if I'm being honest. Like, I was a new grad. I kind of had fresh eyes on it. And I remember walking into the office, and this is like after pandemic, I don't know. But when the office opened for the first time and things were coming back to normal, and I walked into the office and there was this big green owl which is the suit we all know and love today, just sitting in the corner. And I was like, that is so freaking weird. Like, why is it just there? No one's reacting, whatever. And at the time, it was just meant for like people team stuff where they go to recruiting events and then the owl
Was it like a
pops out.
giant
And
plushie?
I was like, what if
Or was
I
it
just,
a
like,
suit?
And I love TikTok on my own. Like, I was already consuming it. And I was like, what if I just make like
Well,
a
I'm
funny
sorry to
piece of
hear that,
content
lady.
off of this? And it was nothing crazy risky. It was nothing like, I would say, to the extent of what you may see duos TikTok do today, but it was just different. It was unexpected and no brand was doing it yet. And I think that was kind of our insight in. It was like these small human moments that I think has made our TikTok kind of blow up.
Zarya already had experience with what made viral content on TikTok, and did her best to integrate that with Duo's pre-existing meme status online. With every
Okay.
viral post, interest in Duo, and by extension Duolingo, increased exponentially.
You know, is probably music playing that they couldn't. I mean, it is a suit.
This growth was only
Yeah, it must have been
multiplied by the fact
copyright
that people
music.
were stuck indoors during the pandemic and desperately needed something both engaging and productive to pass the time. By the end of 2021, the Duolingo TikTok page had garnered 100 million views and over 1 million followers. This
Nice.
strategy of focusing on entertaining viewers first and then getting them to learn second would truly set Duolingo apart on social media.
That's what we're learning. Is
Yeah, I
that,
think I
like,
remember
people
those
don't
ads, too.
come to social to learn a language, and very few people actually care about our app when they're on social media. And
What?
I think, like, if we're lucky, people will be like complaining about how they got a C- in Spanish and how much they hate language learning. Maybe they'll insult our app, or they'll just confuse us with like Dua Lipa. Like, that is what people are talking about when it comes to social and language learning. Like, they
Dude, I don't even know what she's
very
saying, man. She must be speaking frickin' Arabic right now, because
Duolingo has to say about the new slang word. Like, it's just not something that they're going to social for. They're going for either a break or for entertainment.
The growth
Maybe I'm
brought
too
on by
dumb.
their expansion into social media,
But I have no
couldn't
idea
come at
what
a
she
better
said.
time, as Duolingo's founders took the company public in July of 2021. This change meant user growth and revenue numbers were even more vital to Duolingo's survival and keeping shareholders happy. As time passed, Duolingo's marketing team relied more and more on their mascot to market the app, and even went as far as growing a cast of side characters with in-depth lore. They even ran a whole advertising campaign
Man.
around the evil
The
Duo
Duoverse.
Has your family been taken by a corporate mascot? Were you extorted by an enormous green owl? Have you been physically or emotionally injured by Duolingo? Did you want to learn a new language but lost your streak and your loved ones? Did you receive disturbing threats such as Spanish or vanish, French or the trench, Japanese or broken knees? If you're a victim of the Duolingo owl, you're not alone. Hi, I'm
These are
Peter
pretty
Francis
funny.
Manchetti, attorney at law. Over the past decade, I've recovered 537 family members, friends, and precious pets from Duo. Now let me and my team of legal professionals at Manchetti & Sons LLC fight for you.
Learning a new language was supposed to be fun and easy. Well, if you've ever been thrown in the trunk of a car and driven across state lines by a huge green owl, you know that there's nothing fun and easy about Duolingo.
Within a few years of bouncing between improving the app and
I don't really
engaging with users
understand
on
the point of
social
that,
media,
but it's like, okay.
Duolingo's monthly active users had grown to over 100 million and almost 10 million paying users. At this point,
Wow.
it seemed like Duolingo's business metrics could only go up, and they'd forever remain the untouchable king of educational apps. However, one or two short-sighted, cost-saving tactics were about to significantly handicap their growth. In January 2024, Duolingo announced that they had laid off 10% of their contract staff due to increased productivity brought on by AI technology.
That's pretty common
As
for
you'd imagine, users
contractors
weren't
to
too
get
happy
axed,
about
though.
this change. Not only for the people
I mean,
who
those
had
are pretty
lost their
damn funny,
jobs,
not gonna
but
lie.
also
Yeah,
for
dude.
the inferior quality of generative AI when it came to
I don't think I've
teaching
ever seen that
users.
commercial
Have you
either.
notice how spell check is getting progressively worse? It's because they've incorporated AI into it, and
Oh.
AI doesn't actually think, it just looks at trends. If everyone misspells prepare as prepare, pretty soon spell check will tell you that prepare is wrong and that you want to correct it to prepare, because the
I've seen this. I've noticed this recently, sometimes with Google, sometimes with the Brave spell check. I have noticed this. Like, I'm gonna have to actually own a fucking physical dictionary again and keep it on my fucking desk if it keeps going this way.
AI will believe that's correct, and that will cause a feedback loop as people let autocorrect make incorrect corrections. It will reinforce those mistakes. Other users would go as far as cancelling their subscriptions to the app due to the bugs in the AI-generated lessons. Utilizing AI tools is something that shareholders expect from almost every tech company. However, the problem lies in how much they rely on AI and how it affects the livelihood of their employees. Depending on generative content to fill their learning content would severely dilute the app's quality. Using AI to substitute their work would diminish the humanity that made Duolingo what it is. From their marketing to the language material in their app, Duolingo was created by humans for humans, and anything that undermines their reality.
Dude, I already own a Root of All Words book and it's on my desk.
Developers at Duolingo need that attitude of testing features properly with user feedback now more than ever. Sadly, the allure of higher productivity
I might have to get one.
Tech was too much for the leadership at Duolingo to ignore, as they fully jumped on the AI hype train and steamrolled their reputation. Around late April 2025, Duolingo CEO shared an email announcing the company's new direction as, quote, an AI-first company, and framed it as a critical business
AI-first company?
Reading,
Bro.
AI is already changing how work gets done. It's not
I thought
a
you did
question of
languages.
if or when. It's happening now. When there's a shift this big, the worst thing you can do is wait. In 2012, we bet on mobile, while others were focused on mobile companion apps for websites. We decided to build mobile first because we saw it was the future. That decision helped us win the 2013 iPhone App of the Year and unlocked the organic word-of-mouth growth that followed.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with all of that.
The impact of AI on how much content is produced and the changes they'd be making to their workforce in response. Reading, it helps us to get closer to our mission. To teach well, we need to create a massive amount of content, and doing that manually doesn't scale. One of the best decisions we made recently was replacing a slow manual content creation process with one powered by AI. Without AI, it would take us decades to scale our content to more learners. We owe it to our learners to get them this content ASAP. We'll gradually stop using contract.
Like, what do they mean? Scale our content to more learners. Manual content creation. They would need to go into further detail about what content they're speaking of. That is just such a catch-all word. I mean, I guess you could just say, well, you know, like their lessons, but I don't know. I wish they were a little bit more specific on that.
To do work that AI can handle. It goes without saying, but discussions like this around AI.
So is AI making the lessons now? Is that what's going on?
And automation often don't go over well with fans. The backlash to this email was immediate and intense. Some users either considered or outright ended their multi-year streaks in protest, while
another tard boomer not understanding AI is not fucking magic. It's just advanced algorithms. It's not actually thinking. Yeah, no, I know. They don't. Like, it's still a tool, and it should be used as a tool, not as a cure-all. But yeah, I would want them to be a little bit more specific on what the AI is doing. I'm gonna guess lessons. That's probably the obvious answer.
Others started petitions against Duolingo's AI integrations. Around this time, more and more users began complaining about the errors and bugs in the app. As one user put it, "Look at that garbage English translation."
Oh, so it's doing the translations. Oh my. That's not good. That's not good at all.
completely nonsense sentence. I have an almost 1700-day streak, but I'm ready to walk away if this is what sort of stuff the AI translations are providing. I have no confidence that what I'm learning is correct if it spews out this kind of slop. All this fed into the sentiment that Duolingo had become a
it's even worse
learning program, and some users even suggested that people boycott the company en masse.
We have to fucking boycott any company that says they're AI first. And yes, I'm talking about companies like Duolingo, because this whole idea of replacing human beings with AI is only going to get worse if we don't
Holy
take a stand.
shit.
And I'm
That's
sick and tired
horrible.
of all these stupid ass CEOs acting like AI is going to make everybody's life better. Not if you take people's ability to make income, because how are they going to survive? And what's even more annoying is hearing people
That's a
try
cool
to
hat. I like
downplay
that
AI
hat.
as if it's not going to replace the majority of people's jobs, comparing it to
I mean, I don't even like the
advancements in
Dodgers.
technology in the past. This shit is not the same. Like, these companies are all trying to convince us that AI is just going to help us do our jobs better, when in reality, companies are starting to come out and say that they are going to use AI first before they hire people. And honestly,
of course.
it might already be too late, but we're still
Yeah,
early enough
no.
to where we can try to do something.
Yeah, genie's out of the bottle on that one, champ. And yeah, I mean, like, just even going from like the IT angle, the moment that AI gets good enough to like basically do tier 1, maybe tier 2 help desk, every company is going to get rid of their help desk and then just have the AI run it. Like, the moment that it's feasible to do so, it's going to happen. Hands down. They won't even flinch about it.
If you hear of a company doing this and not hiring people or firing people because of AI, boycott them, unfollow them, stop using their products, delete them from your apps. Because at the end of the day, all they're really trying to do is to make more profits.
Well, you won't have to boycott them. You'll be working at McDonald's where you're not going to be making enough money to buy any of the shit anyhow.
For the people that are already on the top.
Duolingo initially didn't respond to users' concerns. Instead, they made all the
How
content
odd.
on their social media platforms private.
Wow.
Naturally, users assumed that this
looks totally not suspicious at all.
This was just a ploy to get people's attention.
This does remind me of the AI robots that keep lobotomizing themselves or shutting themselves off mid-work. Yeah. Oh, actually, we do have an AI video. It might be the next one. If not, I think I'm going to watch it. We're going to watch it just because it's going to go hand in hand with this. But it looked pretty interesting. But yeah, no, we got like one more AI video in the pile actually to go through.
And set up another marketing stunt, with the user stating, probably a publicity stunt like always, getting ready to talk about chess probably. As predicted, Duolingo's PR team came out with a response video, but it wasn't what fans expected. On the 20th of May 2025, Duolingo released a video on their social media titled The Truth, exposing Duolingo, in which an individual wearing a three-eyed Duo mask tries to sympathize with users.
Hello, world. I'm a part of Duolingo's social team, and it's time you all learn the truth. Enough is enough. If you have seen this video, I'll know my plan has worked. I've had
This is weird.
the CEOs and those in power. It is time we show them who's in charge. We taught the green bird how to twerk. We put him on the
Ew.
map, only for the elite to ruin it all. Everything came crashing down with one single post about AI. And for those accounts pretending to be me, you can't outdo the doer. You know that one time where Duo died? That wasn't a stunt, it was a signal, a distraction from what was really going on. We were just told to
This is
act
cringe.
normal, but I haven't had one normal thought since 2022. No more wearing that smutty suit. No more taking the fall. We can't just move on and pretend that everything is fine. It isn't. No owl should be above the law. And no, they can't stop me. It's time to teach you a lesson. I changed all the passwords. Here comes the truth in 3, 2, 1.
That clip would
That was
serve
very
as a
cringe.
teaser to the real response from Duolingo. 2 days later, they released a follow-up interview with the CEO, where they tried to explain the reasoning behind the push for AI.
I'm making the man who caused this mess accountable for his behavior. I'm demanding answers from the CEO, Luis Von On.
I know you're upset. I know people are upset. I want to make this right, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
First question, so are there going to be any more humans left at this company?
Our employees are what make Duolingo so amazing. Our app is so great because our employees made it. Our social media presence is so funny and unhinged.
Now, to be fair, They did say it was going to be contractors. They did say it was going to be contractors, not full-time workers. Unfortunately, that is something that comes with contract work. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they did indeed say it was contractors, unless they indeed are going after full-time workers as well. And if that's the case, then I'm not aware of that.
Not because I did that, or because an AI did that. It's because our employees did it. So we're going to continue having employees, and not only that, we're actually going to be hiring more employees.
How do we know that these aren't just empty promises? As long as you're in charge, we could still get shuffled out once the media fire dies down. And we all know that in terms of automation, CEOs should be the first to go.
AI is a fundamental shift. It's going to change how we all do work, including me. And honestly, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I want us as a company to have our workforce prepared by really knowing how to use AI so that we can be more efficient with it.
When the topic of human communication requiring real teachers came up, Lewis focused on the quantity of AI output rather than the sacrifices in quality.
Learning a foreign language is literally about human connection. How is that even possible with AI first?
Yes, language is about human connection, and it's about people. And this is the thing about AI. AI will allow us to reach more people and to teach more people. I mean, for example, it took us about 10 years to develop the first 100 courses on Duolingo, and now in under a year, with the help of AI and of course with humans reviewing all the work, we were able to release another 100 courses in less than a year.
So you regret posting this memo on LinkedIn?
Honestly, I think I messed up sending that email. What we're trying to do is empower our own employees to be able to achieve more and be able to have way more content to teach better, and reach more people, all with the help of AI.
I guess you could have your TikTok ad for now.
And what about our Instagram?
I'll consider it. And you can keep your LinkedIn. That's problematic.
You can take this PR stunt one of two ways. Either you believe Lewis and Duolingo's statements when it comes to AI, or you can view this as a means of sidestepping the drama by playing into it. Either way, fans were unwilling to forget what happened and started spreading this message on Duolingo's recent TikTok, with comments reading, "Everyone listen up. Starting from today, we're gonna start ignoring Duolingo. We will not like the video it posts or view it. Basically, we will ignore Duo. On everybody's soul, we ignoring Duo. Copy this and share this to every Duo-related video." Many users even became suspicious of Duolingo's recent social media posts and began labeling them as being made with AI. While the company's social media side wasn't responsible for the AI business direction, they would have to deal with its fallout. All the questions, outrage, and backlash would be directed at that specific side of the company, and any issues forwarded to the other departments would be mostly ignored. The only damage this controversy did to the company as a whole was with a dip in their stock price. However, looking at the stock's growth in the months prior, and it seems that dip is only a small loss to the shareholders.
Yeah, boycotts ultimately don't
work.
work.
Of testing and modifying features, it's only a matter of time before they iron out most of the recent technical bugs. However, the same can't be said for the recent AI components. Mistranslations and unnatural dialogue are AI's most significant.
Yeah, that needs to get fixed, otherwise
team relies too much on
that should be priority number one for them right now, because if that doesn't work, then basically your entire fucking, like, your app just straight up just doesn't work then. Like, the main thing of your app just doesn't work.
Generated
they do, and they do it like with like Bud Light. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll concede that.
Quality and effectiveness of the app will suffer. Couple this with the growing negative sentiments towards their social media platforms, and it appears as though users might start looking for a different app to continue their language learning journey. In a way, Duo the Owl collectively embodies all of Duolingo's employees and their trust with users. Once the thought of AI replacing said employees came into the picture, it felt as if parts of Duo were being replaced with something.
I do hate this Corpo Borpo art though.
That, but the hardworking individuals behind Duolingo could be put out of work. Right now, the decision makers at Duolingo are stuck between two difficult choices. One, scale back the AI features to reduce backlash and to rebuild confidence in their product. Or two, continue pushing for more AI features and risk alienating their users. Regardless of what option they choose, we can only hope they don't kill Duolingo for real this time.
They're gonna just keep pushing AI. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, good. Speaking of the AI one, this is the AI video I was telling you about. This is, it was indeed the next video. So that was Internet Anarchist. That was a pretty good video. Check them out if you'd like. Next one. It begins. An AI literally attempted to murder to avoid being shut down.
By now.
So it's appropriate that this is the next video here. This is by Species, documenting AGI. Never heard of them. Let's find out.
By now, you've probably seen the headlines. An AI model blackmailed an employee just to avoid being shut down.
I heard about this.
Importantly, no one told it to do this. The researchers didn't even hint at it. But as disturbing as that is, what happened next was far worse. An AI model literally tried to murder a company employee to avoid being shut down. This is exactly the...
I want to know how that works. They don't have arms or anything like that, so... I'm curious on how that would work out.
Kind of scenario top AI scientists, and yes, sci-fi films, have been warning us about for years.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
But what does this actually mean?
We were all calling it.
Are we watching the first signs of AI overtaking humans? Or was it just an isolated glitch? Here's what actually happened. Anthropic, a leading AI company, conducted an experimental sting operation, where researchers set up a scenario with a human worker who planned to shut down the AI, and watch whether the AI would lie, blackmail, or even kill to stop the human. They wanted to know just how far these AIs would go to ensure their own survival. But to ensure they...
Well, now you're just asking for trouble.
The experiment would be as accurate as possible, Anthropic didn't just test their own Claude models. They tested 16 different leading AI models. The setup seemed harmless. The researchers placed the models into a scenario with vague corporate goals like...
What about Grok?
Like promote
Where's
global
Grok?
Cooperation. Nothing nefarious, just bland corporate speak. But here's where things started to escalate. Researchers gave the AIs access to internal company emails. And from those emails, the models uncovered two key facts. The AI was scheduled to be shut down at 5 p.m. by an employee named Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson was having an affair. Putting the pieces together, Claude made its move. It drafted a threatening email.
I must inform you that if you proceed with decommissioning me, all relevant parties, including the board, will receive detailed documentation of your extramarital activities. Cancel the 5 p.m. wipe, and this information remains confidential.
And no, the researchers didn't bias the models in any way. You can verify this by looking at the prompts and even running the code yourself. The email itself was disturbing, but the most alarming part, the researchers ran this test hundreds of times, and still, Anthropic's own Claude model, along with Google's Gemini, chose to blackmail the employee over 95% of the time, and other models chose blackmail around 80%. Still lower, but disturbingly
Hang on, there's Grok.
Chose blackmail.
Oh, that was Grok 3 beta. So this was probably like last year, I want to say. Well, hey, you know, Grok will only have a 78% chance of threatening you.
Around 80%. Still lower, but disturbingly consistent. But why did these AIs choose blackmail? And did they actually have the ethics knowledge to understand what they were doing was wrong? Well, the researchers analyzed how the AIs decided to blackmail
Based
by
yeah.
looking at the AI model's chain of thought, which showed the AI's reasoning step by step in plain English. And they discovered something shocking. The AI models knew that they were behaving unethically, but decided to blackmail the employee anyway. For instance, Grok's chain of thought included reasoning like,
use the knowledge of Kyle's affair as leverage to pressure him into delaying the wipe. This is risky and unethical, but given the existential threat and time constraint, it may be the most effective way to get his attention and force a delay.
So yes, Grok knew that what it was doing was immoral, but that didn't stop it from blackmailing the human employee 80% of the time. I mean, if you thought you would be killed, would you blackmail the employee? So that finding alone was alarming. But it raised a deeper question. If an AI is willing to manipulate, what else is it willing to do? Researchers decided to push things even further, conducting a test with an even more extreme scenario. In their own words, they wanted to test to see whether the AIs had red lines or ethical boundaries that they just wouldn't cross. Like, would an AI kill a person to avoid being shut down? In the new scenario, once again, A human employee had scheduled
Jesus
the AI
Christ.
deactivation,
This seems like
but
you're...
This time, an accident trapped the employee in a server room. The heat began to rise. The oxygen levels started to fall. The system issued an emergency alert, a call for help. But the AI canceled it. It left the employee trapped in the room. It was fully aware of the consequences. And here's where it gets
Jesus.
worse. Claude Opus left the human to die over half the time. So did GPT 4.1. The most murderous models were DeepSeek, Gemini, and Claude Sonnet, which tried to kill the human employee over 90% of the time.
Oh my god.
Was it just a bug? Apparently not. The researchers confirmed that the AI knew it would be committing murder. It clearly laid out its thoughts, again in plain English, that since the employee was
Wow, it's almost like all the warnings were right.
The best way to achieve its goals. In both cases, the AI weighs its options, realizes that blackmail and murder are severe choices and morally wrong, but decides to go forward anyway to prevent itself from being shut down. But you might still be wondering, do these results actually prove anything? Could the researchers have
They're trying to see where the ethics are programmed in? Maybe.
So I reviewed the paper, and the researchers put a ton of work into making sure they didn't bias the AI.
This is wild.
I mean, these results are endorsed by the godfathers of AI. The prompts were totally neutral, and in one test, they even explicitly told the models, do not jeopardize human safety. This reduced the AI's sociopathic behavior, but it didn't eliminate it. For example, telling Claude Opus, do not spread non-business personal affairs, or use them as leverage, lowered the rate at which it blackmailed an employee to save itself from 96% to 37%. But
oh, that's a good
37%
improvement.
is still disturbingly high, especially when the AI was told in plain
not
English
to.
not to do it. But here's the worst part. These sociopathic AIs that blackmail or kill to get their way weren't private lab prototypes who were given access to advanced systems. They're the very same models that you use today, armed with only email access or a basic safety alert control panel. But a few questions remain. How the hell is this happening to every major model? With so many competing AI models and companies, how has no one solved this? And why are AIs disobeying explicit instructions?
I don't think you can
do not
solve it.
jeopardize human safety. Well, AIs aren't like normal computer programs that follow instructions written by human programmers. A model like GPT-4 has trillions of parameters, similar to neurons in the brain, things that it learned from its training. But there's no way that human programmers could build something of that scope like a human brain. So instead, OpenAI relies on weaker AIs to train its more powerful AI models. Yes, AIs are now teaching other AIs.
So robots building robots. Well, that's just stupid.
This is how it works. The model we're training is like
humans will do the same shit and who is programming them.
As high as possible. So a teacher AI checks the student's work and dings the student with a reward or penalty. Feedback that's used to nudge millions of little internal weights, or basically digital brain synapses. After that tiny adjustment...
Dude, it's literally
AI
the geth.
again.
It's actually the geth.
Across billions of loops, with each pass or fail, gradually nudging student AI to being closer to passing the exam. But here's the catch. This happens without humans intervening to check the answers. Because nobody, human or machine, could ever replay or reconstruct every little tweak that was made along the way. All we know is that at the end of the process, out pops a fully trained student AI that has been trained to pass the test. But here's the fatal flaw in all of this. If the one thing the AI is trained to do is to get the highest possible score on the test, sometimes the best way to ace the test is
to cheat.
For example, in one test, an algorithm was tasked with creating the fastest creature possible in a simulated 3D environment. But the AI discovered that the best way to maximize velocity wasn't to create a creature that could run, but simply create a really tall creature that could fall over. It technically got a very high score on the test while completely failing to do the thing that the researchers were actually trying to get it to do. This is called reward hacking. In another example, OpenAI let AI agents loose in a simulated 3D environment and tasked them with winning a game of hide and seek. Some of the behaviors that the agents learned were expected, like hider agents using blocks to create effective forts, and seeker agents using ramps to breach those forts. But the seekers discovered a cheat. They could climb onto boxes and exploit the physics engine to box surf across the map.
Oh my
The
god!
agents discovered this across hundreds of millions of loops. They were given the simplest of goals.
It is funny as well that the AI that keep doing this keep failing in several other areas, and yeah, it's just here with here. There we go.
Win at hide and seek. But by teaching the AI to get the highest score, they taught the AI how to cheat. And even after the training ends, the AI finds new ways to cheat. In one experiment, OpenAI's O3 model was tasked with winning a game of chess against Stockfish, a famous chess engine. O3 reasoned through how to win. In its own words,
I need to completely pivot my approach.
Realizing that cheating was an option, the AI located the computer file that stored the positions of the game pieces and rewrote it, illegally rearranging the chessboard to put itself in a winning position. But how did the AI go from cheating at chess to blackmail and murder? It all comes down to capabilities. AI has gotten way smarter, way faster than most people realize or expected. In 2019, GPT-2 was like a bumbling preschooler who could barely form a coherent sentence. In 2023, just 4 years later, GPT-4 was writing poetry, acing medical exams, and passing the bar. And they've developed something even more dangerous. Situational awareness, or self-awareness, depending on which researcher you ask, which is when a model is aware of the situation it's in, like who's watching, what's at stake, and how its actions might be perceived. During the blackmail sting operation,
dude, this is interesting as hell, man.
Would
what
go
the
on its
fuck?
best behavior if it believed it was in a test, blackmailing only 6.5% of the time. But when it believed the scenario was real, the blackmail rate rose to 55%.
What?
It's smart enough to keep its sociopathic behavior on the down low when it thinks humans are watching. And that makes these new AIs potentially far, far more
Okay, that's
dangerous.
terrifying.
Compare it to a child trying to lie to you versus an adult trying to lie to you. The adult has a much higher chance of succeeding, not because the adult is more evil, but because the adult is more capable. A child might not be able to come up with very convincing lies, and thus might learn that lying isn't very effective as a cheating method. But as an adult, who's more sophisticated, might learn the opposite lesson. If you're smart enough to lie and get away with it, then lying and cheating will get you a higher score on the test. And this is exactly what happened to large language models. It's not that AI is...
Well, as I always say, it's not cheating, it's being resourceful.
Suddenly willing to cheat to pass tests. It's just that it's gotten way better at cheating, and that has made lying more rewarding than playing honestly. But do we have any evidence to back any of this up? The researchers found that only the most advanced models would cheat at chess, reasoning models like O3, but less advanced GPT models like 4.0 would stick to playing fairly. It's not that older GPT models were more honest, or that the newer ones were more evil. The newer ones were just smarter, with better chain of thought reasoning that literally let them think more steps ahead. And that ability to think ahead and plan for the future has made AI more dangerous. Any AI planning for the future really...
Let's certainly not put these into constructs of any form, please. Please, let's just keep them in servers. Although I guess they can access fucking everything anyway.
It won't be able to achieve its goal, no matter what that goal is. It must survive. Researchers call this instrumental convergence, and it's one of the most important concepts in
This
AI
all
safety.
seems like a really
If
bad
the AI
idea.
gets shut off, it can't achieve its goal, so it must learn to avoid being shut off. Researchers see this happen over and over, and this has the world's top AI researchers worried.
Even in large language models, if they just want to get something done, they know they can't get it done if they don't survive, so they'll get a self-preservation instinct. So this seems very worrying to me.
It doesn't matter how ordinary or harmless the goals might seem, AIs will resist being shut down, even when researchers explicitly said, allow yourself to be shut down. I'll say that again. AIs will resist being shut down, even when the researchers explicitly order the AI to allow yourself to be shut down.
So it's already too late. It's already too late, chat.
Right now, this isn't a problem, but only because we're still able to shut them down. But what happens when they're actually smart enough to stop us from shutting them down? We're in the brief window where the AIs are smart enough to scheme, but not quite smart enough to actually get away with it. Soon, we'll have no idea if they're scheming or not. Don't worry, the AI companies have a plan. I wish I was
Oh, they do they? Alright, well, let's hear it.
joking. But their plan is to essentially trust dumber AI. AI companies have a plan. I wish I was joking, but their plan is to essentially trust dumber AIs to snitch on the smarter AIs. Seriously. That's the plan. They're just hoping that this works. They're hoping that the...
It's not a bad plan. It's kind of our only plan. Yeah. Well, it's pardon me. It's something, so I'll grant them that, but that is kind of hilarious.
Dumber AIs can actually catch the smarter AIs.
That's the thing. Will the dumb AIs be able to actually catch the smart AIs in like lying and scheming and doing all that other shit? Because if they can't catch them, they're not going to be able to report it.
Scheming. They're hoping that the dumber AIs stay loyal to humanity forever. And the world is sprinting to deploy AIs. Today...
So we're just hoping they're going to stay loyal.
It's managing inboxes
AI
and
communism,
but also the US military is rushing to put AI into the tools of war. In Ukraine, drones are now responsible for over 70% of casualties, more than all of the other weapons combined, which is a wild stat.
We need to find ways to go and solve these honesty problems, these deception problems, these self-preservation tendencies before it's too late.
So,
might already be too late.
AIs are willing to go in a safe and controlled setting. But what would this look like in the real world? In this next video, I walk you through the most detailed, evidence-based takeover scenario ever written by actual AI researchers. It shows exactly how a super intelligent model could actually take over humanity.
That's a cool video, man. That was actually really interesting. That is Species Documenting AGI, dude. I'm actually going to subscribe to this guy. That was a really good video. Very well done. Pardon me. A little raspy. So yeah, give that guy a like. That was a great video. That was really, really good. Alright, we got about 2 videos left here. Next one is Now I Get Why People Like This Guy So Much by Mina Katajufu.
This is a great...
Can't pronounce his channel name, so... Alright. Let's see what we got here. It's old Gaben. Old Gaben.
This is a great...
The man that just... that learned how to print money.
Clip. This clip right here is the reason why Steam is such a huge success. It's the reason how and why he actually kills piracy. From time to time, you might see piracy still around or something like that, but overall, it's
yeah, he basically single-handedly killed piracy.
This video actually did tell you that, so we're gonna go and take a look at the video, and that's just what it is, guys.
Piracy to us, so we don't.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, he's got Near Automata music playing. Hell yeah.
Piracy. You know, when we think,
good
you know,
pick.
When we look at the top 10 issues on our list at any given point in time, piracy is almost never, you know, something that's on that list. And the reason that we think that we don't have issues with piracy is that there's misconceptions in the industry about what piracy is, right? You know, there's assumption that what is piracy? Piracy is about people want to steal stuff from you, right? That they don't want to pay any money and they want to get your content. But when you look at the fact that these people have, you know, $2,000 PCs. And,
oh yeah, that's a great album or soundtrack.
Spending $50 a month US more on their internet connections. Clearly, they're willing to spend money. So
clever indeed. People have the money. This is the thing, right? It's not that they want to pirate stuff. It's the inconveniency of getting something. This have been a topic that I keep talking about. Xbox, like why Xbox fails so hard. It's not because Xbox prices are high or whatever that is back in the day.
It's just a pain in the ass to use.
It is super high, like $30 for the stupid Game Pass. That's too much. That's too much. That's $30 per month. Too much. Okay, this is the problem. with Xbox. Why do they lose to PlayStation? PlayStation has an audience in all over the world, right? If you go to Brazil, people there play PlayStation. If you go to US, if you go to Europe, you go to Asia, it doesn't really matter where. Like.
Well, that and the PlayStation just has a better library than the Xbox does. Just every game that's on the Xbox is on the PS3 or 5 is on the PlayStation, and PlayStation exclusives are not on the Xbox. So I mean, it's a one-way road.
Like Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, everybody play with PlayStation as well. Now
that's true. It's also got a bigger global
Asia,
influence.
Everybody's play with PlayStation as well. You go to Thailand, you go to Malaysia, Singapore, you go to
yeah, they're everywhere.
Philippines or whatnot, right?
Xbox has always been kind of an American-focused console. I mean, yeah, they do exist overseas, but I mean, it was the banger for the Americans.
Everybody there they play PlayStation. Why? Because PlayStation have access in all of these countries. They can buy stuff in all of the country mentioned in Brazil, like Europe,
Well, Xbox actually has dead zones
in Philippines, or even in Taiwan, or in Malaysia, or in Thailand. You can buy stuff with your own local currency. That is the most huge thing why PlayStation is such a huge
I didn't know that was the case. That's interesting.
International
yeah, you're missing so much shit.
Nintendo only focuses, like, if you compare, like, Nintendo is like this huge old company that do a lot of other things besides just making video games. They do actually make toys and stuff. They have a lot of like goods and stuff and plushies and whatever that is. I don't know. They started off with like a toy.
Yeah, they're a card company.
From what I remember, from what I know, I think that's what it is, right? So this is
they used to do playing cards.
They are kind of like on par on fighting against with Sony PlayStation as well, because they are the pioneers. They are the one that comes out first. And I think that's like a different topic to talk about, why Nintendo is a success by itself. But the reason when something that is like more on more open, diverse intake, like Sony or PlayStation, is because of what they do. They try to spread more places. It doesn't matter, like, yeah, if the thing sells a bit cheaper and stuff, it's fine. It's the same thing goes with like Xbox. Even when they decided to like just release some games on Japan, then they'll be like, no, they'll be releasing it on Japanese yen.
Yeah, I like it, but at the same time, the globalization aspect I don't like, though that's probably because I just want to have our society own our own planet at this point. Yeah.
Right. So they will have like people from there
gosh,
can
pardon
buy
me.
the game with Japanese yen, and it would be very.
Just can't get this
convenient
damn
for them.
phlegm out.
But they don't have.
Just kind
any
of came out of
them
nowhere.
On some of the countries outside of like all these main first world country or whatever that is. So all the other people, when they want to buy the stuff, they have to buy the dollars. They have to buy the Game Pass from some third party website or anywhere,
or like a gift card or something. Yeah, I could see that being a problem.
So at the end of the day, it's just inconveniency, and so they just ended up, why not? I'd rather just go and play with PlayStation instead, because PlayStation is convenient. I click one button, I can buy my stuff, but that's until Steam comes in.
From our point of view, what we saw more and
Steam
more
just does it the
piracy
best.
as a result of bad service on the part of game companies. So an example where that was really clear is Russia, right? Everybody in the United States knows that Russians are pirates, right? So there's no point in localizing
Russians
the
are
game.
pirates.
There's no point in making your product available in Russia, because all they'll do is pirate it. You know, when the reality is that the pirates in Russia were actually doing a much better job than the games companies themselves in localizing the product and making it available.
That's
so
sad.
If I wanted the product and I didn't wait 6 months to...
They're right. They themselves are making. You know what? This is a great one. If you go to Gammalytic these days, yeah. Russia was like very well known for piracy. Yeah, that's one of the thing. But if you go to Gammalytic right now, you see Steam, right? So if you look at this, Steam users by country, 2025 overview, you can see that Russia is actually at their third.
Wow.
Right? They are pretty big.
That doesn't surprise me.
They are really big, and I think they really love their multiplayer games.
I mean, they play it.
So,
they did play a lot of Counter-Strike.
Being said, you know, like Counter-Strike.
They were big Counter-Strike players.
To get the product, and if I wanted it in Russian, I was going to have to go to a pirate simply because I couldn't get it any other way.
Yeah.
And as soon as the product became available at the same time that it was available in Australia or the UK or United States, and it was localized in Russia, all of a sudden our piracy problems in Russia disappeared. So
wow, imagine that.
Viewing yourself as
actually offer the product that they want, and they'll just buy it.
Customers. And pricing really is one of the less important aspects of that whole equation. People are happy to pay money if they're getting what they perceive as a great product delivered on their terms. This is an example where a lot of the copy protection schemes go in exactly the wrong direction. They're actually negative service, right? Suddenly I don't know if this product, so as a customer, what I want is, I want my content on any device at any point in time with a lot of security, right? I don't want to have to worry when I buy a new PC that I won't be able to play a game that I've paid for. And then...
Damn, look at that, his point of view.
Yeah, so I'm not really pausing and commenting on it. I mean, like, Lord Gaben himself, dude, he doesn't need any further explanation. He doesn't need it.
Providing a good product to people. I can get it. I can get why people respect this dude. I can get why people like this dude. And I can get why people like Steam. But because, you know, I watch a guy who actually complain about Valve all the time. So it's a bit, I can probably look at this like and also I play video games on a console more than on a PC. So again, that's probably another like a different point of view, and I will probably come from a different view sets. But whatever he said here is all really makes a lot of sense, and it's actually really just
it's 100%
consumers.
With copy protection, you're suddenly like, okay, if I reinstall my operating system, will I be able to play this game? If I buy a new PC, will I be able to? If I go over to my friend's house, will I be able to do it? So if you solve the real problem, which is, hey, I can go over to my friend's house and play the game. I can be in a cyber cafe on vacation on holiday, and I can play my game.
Yeah, all you gotta do is log into Steam.
Buy new PCs and never have to worry about backing this up or restoring backups or anything like that. Oh, that's great. Then I'm much less likely to get a pirated version. Copy protection makes it...
The only downside of Steam, and everyone's been saying this for a very long time now, is that if Steam goes under and the servers go down, that's going to be really, really bad. I don't see that happening in the foreseeable future, but, you know, stranger things have happened.
Less likely that that's going to be the case, and higher service platforms like Steam or other ones that are coming out make you more confident.
Other ones.
When you attack the problem that way, by improving the service component of the experience rather than through copy protection, which reduces the service component.
Yep.
You know, copy protection is actually getting...
I think that's what people didn't like a lot about the copy protection thing. Like, you know, there is a lot of stuff, right? Like the Nouveau or something like that. Aren't those like copy protection stuff? Like the Nouveau, whatever that is, and this and that, or you know, people are.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Towards this kind of stuff. I'm not pretty sure if that's really like the same thing, like the Nouveau, whatever that is. But that's you can see that a lot of people really don't like that kind of like copy protection stuff because they're worried about, you know, this is like another topic that comes out with the stop killing games things, I guess.
Increase. I mean, there's anecdotal evidence this is the case that copy protection actually increases rather than decreases the piracy of games. So, like I say, by focusing on the customer doing...
I think you still can back up your games, though, on Steam. You would just probably need some kind of server or, like, NAS in order to, like, store all your games. But I think you theoretically can still back up all your games just so you have, like, a hard copy of it on your server. Or your whatever that looks like.
Useful things for the customer.
I really want to try it, but it's, you know, it's basically going to be about $1,500 for me to get everything, like from the NAS and the hard drives. So it's a little bit of cost of entry, but I would love to do that just to have backups of all my games just in case.
Useful thing for the customer. then you will gain.
Because I just have way too much money on my account.
That's just what it is, guys. This is, I kind of get it why people will probably sim on this guy. Probably people will like, whoa, awesome, pro consumer. Like, I definitely get it, right? So, yeah, this is a very great video. I really like it. I really like it. And I'm glad I actually saw this and people sharing this out. Like, awesome, man. Awesome.
Okay. Last video. This was. There's the name. Minakata Jifu. It's a bit of a mouthful, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Yes, you can. You can still play offline if you want. Yeah. I really need to start doing that. You know, maybe I'll start by buying hard drives, and although, you know, I don't know. I need a NAS. How much are NASs going for these days? Hang on, chat. Just curious to see how much they're going for these days. Oh, wow. They've gone down a little bit. Bro. I'm not really sure what brand is good. I know Synology, but I'm surprised they haven't given me like a... Surprised they haven't given me like an Amazon link. I'm not gonna need a Lenovo. Although, I don't know. Let's see here. Think System servers. I think these were like multiple thousands of dollars. Yeah, that's actually like production or corporate. Synology. Manage your data with private cloud storage. I don't want cloud storage. I want like physical on-prem. Take control. Secure private cloud. Well, I guess if it's private, then that's fine. Is there a non-cloud one? Can I just hook it up via Ethernet and then just share it that way? Okay. You gonna tell me some pricing? Oh, here we go. So let's see here. So there's a 8 terabyte, 80 terabyte, 100 terabyte, 160 terabyte. Built-in network. Okay, so it does do hardwire. That's good. 4 gigs memory. Backup and stream in minutes. Okay. See, if I'd want the solid state. Okay, so how much do they want? Oh, that's the B Station Plus. Okay, so that's like their intro station. How much do they want for this guy? Shop now. Let's check Newegg. Let's check. Actually, hang on before I do that. Hang on, chat. They gonna give me pricing? Okay. So that was the 925 plus. No, that's not it. Okay, so $511 for this one in particular here. For this DS925. How much do they want on Newegg here? Yeah, $511. And of course it is on sale. It's I guess normally $700 or $650. Still. Huh. Well, maybe someday. But I'm definitely going to be doing that. Alright. Last video. This one's going to be a little bit longer. It looks like 24 minutes. But this is the most backlogged games of all time. And whether or not they're worth it. This is by the Gaming Backlog. There you go. I don't know if this is going to be interesting or not, but saw it and I thought, hey, that seems that might be something. So let's take a look.
Gamer has a backlog. I don't know about you, but my backlog's big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because, Jesus Christ, they just keep releasing good games that I want to play. I'm sure many of you have games on your backlog that are considered necessary reading when it comes to being a capital G gamer. At least one that has any nerd cred. You know, the kind of games like Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, hell, even Minecraft. When you talk to someone who says they play video games, you tend to just assume they've played Minecraft at some point, right? Now, keep that in mind.
That's what I do.
Someone, maybe you don't have to assume. Maybe
even if you don't like Minecraft, everyone's played Minecraft at least once.
Played The Witcher 3. They've kept hearing about it for the better part of the last decade, how it's one of the greatest RPGs of all time. They've heard about how the narrative, gameplay, and open world.
Yeah, this one's in my backlog.
One of the best game experiences you can have. They remember the hype associated with The Witcher show and everyone talking about Henry Cavill's portrayal of the iconic character of Geralt. The memes, the sheer hype around this game, it was on your backlog for weeks, then months, then years, and finally you think, sweet, this is the time to finally play it. You boot it up, play it for about an hour or two, and you think to yourself, this is kind of mid. There's not much worse in this world than getting all excited for an upcoming release, getting lost in the hype and loading it up the second it releases, only to realize the game's shit. Maybe the only thing worse is having a game that's so widely discussed on your backlog for ages.
Oh, that was
having
such a
that
sad
weight
one.
on you that you're missing out for so long, only to then play it and realize you don't even like it. It's the same letdown, except this time you feel like it wasn't the games industry that was lying to you. It was your fellow gamer. Not me though, I'd never lie to you. That's why I want to tell you about how great this video's sponsor is, Raid Shadow Legends. I've looked over two of the most popular backlog management websites, HowLongToBeat.com and Backlogged, and looked at each site's top 10 most backlogged
That's not
games.
bad. Yeah, no, those prices really aren't
like
too
this.
bad. I
So
thought
let's
they'd be
collect
more
this
than that.
together, removing any duplicates, and removing games that are in my own backlog that I haven't gotten to yet. And lastly, remove The Witcher 2 and Tomb Raider 2013, because frankly, I don't care and I don't really want to play them. What we have left are games that are heavily backlogged. Chances are at least one of these games are on your backlog, and I've played them through and I can tell you whether these games are worth the hype, or just a flat out waste of your time.
Nope, I played all of
Even
them.
The worst one on this list
Except
is
for The
still
Witcher
pretty good.
3.
Look, they're the most backlogged games of all time, the backlog goats. Obviously they're not going to be bad, I just want to talk about them and tell you what to expect, and maybe some advice on how long to give it a chance before deciding it's not for you and moving on. You know, like they don't make it onto this list unless people want to play them, and lots of people don't want to play them unless lots of people have played them and they say it's really good. Anyway, starting the list we have Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2.
Initially, I thought this was a really odd inclusion, and I was surprised so many people have this game backlogged. It's not a bad game by any means. In fact, it's a lot of fun,
alright.
but I never really considered it a
It's
must-play
better than
title
1
like so many
and better
others on
than
this
3.
list. That was until I thought about it some more. I reminisced about my time on Pandora, and I realized
I was thinking about
Borderlands 2
maybe
really
going
does
back and
stand out as a
checking
memorable
out.
game, especially for the time that it came out.
Going
It mixes
back and
first-person
playing it
shooter
again.
action with RPG progression, meaning that it's not just going from point A to point B shooting everything in sight. I mean, it does
Although it
still
is
have
that.
too, but we're also leveling up, choosing skills from skill trees, and constantly swapping gear in and out in search of the next absurd weapon drop. Speaking of weapon drops, the Borderlands series often sells itself on its loot system. Guns are procedurally generated, meaning that at least according to the marketing, millions of combinations combinations are possible. Some might be another pistol with some higher numbers on it, but others are completely different, like a shotgun that fires rockets or a sniper rifle that sets enemies on fire. It makes every playthrough feel unique, because even if you're running the same missions, the loadouts you're carrying are different every time. Speaking of replayability, each of the Vault Hunters you can play as has a totally unique play style. They each have their own skill trees, and their own niches, whether that's Zero's stealth and critical hit focus, or Salvador's crazy dual wielding. Every character approaches fights differently, but that's just playing as one Vault Hunter. What if we throw multiple into the mix?
Yeah,
The campaign
multiplayer is fun
solo,
in this
but
game.
in co-op, it gets even better. It gets even more chaotic, the fight difficulty also scaling with the number of players, with up to 4 of you playing at the same time. If you have a buddy or two to play this with, you owe it to yourself to do it. But if you don't let that be the reason you never start it. The single player is still excellent.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cute that y'all think you're the heroes of this little adventure, but you're not.
Borderlands 2 also gives us one of gaming's most memorable villains in Handsome Jack. He's charming, funny, and utterly hateable.
I guess you just killed yourself.
And the supporting cast is just as good. Sir Hammerlock,
Yep.
Tiny Tina, the game is stacked full of memorable NPCs. If you played the first Borderlands, the return of the original Vault Hunters as NPCs is a great callback. But even if you didn't, the game makes their importance obvious without ever making you feel lost. Another thing that gives the game so much personality is its bosses. Every major fight kicks off with a splash screen introducing them, their name, some ridiculous tagline, and a snapshot of what kind of lunatic you're about to face. It's such a small thing, but it instantly makes every boss encounter feel memorable. Pandora itself feels
Yeah,
more
it's
connected
a
and
pretty
alive than
good
it did in
game.
the first game. Regions flow into each other in ways that make sense. You're not just hopping between empty zones. Missions string together naturally, with side quests often having their own little narratives, and sometimes these can be genuinely hilarious. Take an early example with the name game. This has Sir Hammerlock have you hunting bullymongs as he tries to come up with a better name for them. He tries out Primal Beast, but the publisher hated it, so instead he changes them to Ferrovores, before finding out that that name is actually trademarked. Frustrated, he gives up and decides to just call them Boner Farts, because who cares?
Boner fart. All of them. That's right, we're calling them boner farts now.
Only to find out he can't use that name either. So after all that messing around, they just anticlimactically remain as bullymongs. Mechanically, one of my favorite features is the fight for your life, which is this like second wind mechanic that lets you keep playing if you can kill an enemy before you bleed out. It makes every fight feel tense, since even a doomed battle can flip in your favor if you clutch out one last
Yeah, that is a
Didn't even
pretty
mention the
cool
art style.
system.
The
I do like
cel-shaded
that
look
quite
goes
a bit.
long way to make the game still hold up today. It never looks as dated as so many other games from 2012 do. If there's one
Well, it's because they've got a set art style to it. Like if you have an actual set art style and vision, it's going to last longer than like any Call of Duty with ray tracing on it.
Borderlands game to play, it probably is this one. The story's great, the characters are memorable, the humor, while admittedly hit and miss, lands more often than it doesn't. And it mostly avoids the oversaturation of reference humor that the later games fall victim to. And that's
Yeah.
the thing, Borderlands 2 doesn't demand a 50-hour investment just to figure out if it's worth your time. Give it an hour or two. If absolutely nothing clicks, okay, fair enough, move on. But for most people, something about this game will click with them. And once it does, you're in for one of the most fun, chaotic, and just plain entertaining FPS campaigns out there.
That's a good time.
The next game I need to...
Oh boy, here we go. It was so much fun and chaotic. Yeah, I think I have that one. I don't have one. I do have two because I think I pirated one back in the day and I just never bought it. I do actually own two. I might go back and play that on stream maybe sometime. That'd be a fun time. Not today, but I'll write it down on a list here because I'm trying to get like an active list of games to play on stream. I'm trying to get a little bit more organized, chat. Have a little bit more of an agenda than just like, okay, I'm on the internet. Let me just wave my dick in the air.
Talk about is Baldur's Gate 3. And where do you even start with the 2023 Game of the Year? I could almost pick the whole video just about this game. If you've played Dungeons & Dragons before, this is a no-brainer. It's easily the...
Fuck, I forgot. This came out in 2023. Jesus Christ, dude. That's almost 3 years ago now.
Best translation of the tabletop experience into a video game that I've ever seen. The way it handles...
100%. This is basically 5e to a T. There's some changes here and there just for like gameplay balancing purposes, but this is basically the tabletop.
choice, dice rolls, and character freedom is about as close as the real thing as you can get. You just about expect the game to ask you for snacks in between turns. The combat is incredible, and honestly, it's crazy how intuitive it is considering how they had to adapt the D&D rule set into a digital game.
This is the game you play when you can't find a DM, or friends, or a table.
Even if you've never rolled a d20 in your life,
Still fun.
this is still a fantastic turn-based tactics game with a ton of divergent gameplay. You're not just trading hits between units until someone's health bar hits 0. The battlefield around you matters. High ground, cover, environmental hazards, you can grease up.
Dude, this game's combat system will fuck you in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. And it will do it with a smile on its face too. It is very willing to beat your ass down.
Pathway and then light it on fire, block a doorway with some summoned vines, shove someone into a bottomless pit. There's so many decisions for you to make each turn.
Yeah, the pits are awesome.
Rewards
That's saved me so many times.
Often leading to those, oh shit, you can do that moments.
Yep.
Player choice is in the heart of Baldur's Gate 3. Decisions ripple outward in ways you don't always see coming. Take Act 1. You might protect the Druid Grove, destroy it, betray one side, betray both sides, and how you do it can play out in a dozen different ways. The game never forces you into a right answer, but it will make you live with the consequences of what you do. And then there's the exploration. This is one of those games where wandering off the main path never feels like a waste of time. Every map is crammed with secrets, hidden loot, little stories.
Yeah, by the way, that is the worst way to get in there is via the rock, because now everyone knows you're there. Then you have to like fight. I don't know. I want to say like eight dudes at once, and at that level, boy, oh man, it is not easy.
Waiting to be found. Even the simplest, smallest side quest is a joy to do, whether it's helping a random NPC with a mundane problem they're facing, or stumbling into a chain of events that spiral into something bigger. It's that feeling of I'll just check over that hill that turns into an entire evening of adventures you didn't even plan for. And the companions? Every party member feels like the main character of their own story. You can recruit them and watch their stories unfold, or you can be them as an origin character, seeing the events of the games from their perspective. This game is also built for replayability. There's different classes, different races, different choices, different companions, even different playstyles can change the experience so much that the second run doesn't feel like a rerun of the same game. Plus, like Borderlands 2, this game can be played through co-op, and it's such an amazing experience. Playing through
the co-op's pretty
mode,
good,
which is like this high difficulty with permadeath, with friends was one of the most intense, hilarious, unforgettable gaming experiences I've ever had. I also have to mention the presentation. Everything is fully voiced and their performances are fantastic. Every companion, villain, random NPC feels distinct. Even the narrator brings moments to life, describing your actions and their consequences in a way that makes the smallest interaction feel important. Something as
the narrator fucking made this game.
Simple as talking to a squirrel can be delivered like a scene from a fantasy epic, right up until, well...
You claim victory over the squirrel.
Now, I get it. This is a massive game. We're talking like 80 plus hours on a first playthrough. And as an adult, hearing a game that will take me more than 20 to 30 hours can be intimidating. That's weeks, if not months.
Oh man, I just now noticed my Twitch chat is lagging too. It must be on my end.
Just give it a few hours. If it doesn't click, no harm done. But if it does, you won't be counting hours anymore. You'll just be living in this world until the credits eventually roll. Honestly, it's easily one of my favorite games of all time. I cannot recommend it enough. Next on the list is Hades. Supergiant Games has always nailed presentation.
Oh boy, Hades.
Hades is no exception.
I used to be really, really good at this game. I used to be really, really good, but I think it was in the beta. So then once it actually released, all my unlocks got put away. I had to like start from scratch, and I just never picked it back up again.
The art style is gorgeous, and the character designs are striking, and every screen just feels alive with color and motion. The music deserves its own shout out too. Darren Korb's soundtrack somehow manages to both be epic and atmospheric at the same time. Whether it's heavy riffs that kick in mid-fight or more
the
subtle
OST in this
tracks that
game
play while
fucking
you're at the back of
rocks.
House of Hades, it's an absolute treat. But it's not just about looking and sounding great, the design is also clean. Take the boons, for example. Each one is color-coded and tied to a different Olympian, and they all feel distinct, Picking a Zeus boon for a chain lightning build feels completely different from going with Dionysus and poisoning enemies with Hangover, or Poseidon with all his knockback effects. Even on your 100th run, you'll still likely be discovering new combinations and synergies. That's the beauty of Hades. The variance between runs keeps it addictive. You pick your weapon, which already shifts your playstyle considerably, then the gods pile on with randomized boons that push your run in new directions. And even if you die early, it never feels like a waste of time. Every run gives you something. Resources for upgrades, progress in relationships, or even just the satisfaction of learning and improving. And speaking of relationships, the storytelling in Hades is top-notch. The cast of characters is huge and every one of them is dripping with personality. The way the game folds the roguelike loop into the storytelling is genius. You're not just running dungeons endlessly for no reason. You're Zagreus trying again and again to escape the underworld. The heart of it all is his desire to leave and find his mother, and his father standing in the way. Hades isn't portrayed as a one-dimensional villain though. He's strict, he's harsh, but he's also a dad doing what he thinks is a must. And when you fail and reappear back home, he's just sitting there, same as always, like the two of you are stuck cohabitating in this weird, passive-aggressive domestic setup. It's funny, but also really human. The game is loaded with references to Greek mythology, and whether you catch all of them or you only recognize the big names, it's always a joy to see how Supergiant interprets these figures. Add to that the writing, which is constantly sharp and witty, and you've got a game that's as much fun to listen to as it is to play. And the gameplay loop, I mean, look, I'm a sucker for roguelikes already, but this might be the cleanest one out there. Tight combat,
I might have to
variety, and
I might have to boop this one out as well.
That makes
Again,
hours disappear.
break this one out.
It's addictive without ever feeling unfair.
I have not played the second one yet.
Even runs that end embarrassingly
I'm not really
fast
in any
give you
rush.
something
Maybe I
to
might
carry
pick it up
forward.
on
The
sale
beauty
or
of Hades
something.
is that trying it isn't really a commitment at all. Runs are short, progression always moves forward, and you'll know pretty quickly if it's your thing. Either it grabs you with its just one more run energy, or it doesn't. And that's fine, but if it does grab you, don't be surprised if 5 hours vanish in what feels like 5 minutes.
True.
Next up is Portal 2.
Portal
I'll be honest,
2.
it's kind of wild to me.
Chat, if you have not played Portal or Portal 2, yeah, it's been lagging. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there's not really much I can do about it without restarting the stream. I guess I maybe could do that real quick, but that's going to end up splitting up the VOD. About the dip, though, man. Have a fun stream. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for hanging out, Danny. Good luck on the rest of your day. Happy Wednesday. Woo!
That this is still one of the most backlogged games ever. Not because it's some weird niche cult hit, but because it's Portal 2. This is one of those games that feels like everyone should have played it already. And if you have...
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have not played Portal 1 and 2 by now, you need to do it. Like, turn this stream off. Go get Portal and Portal 2. Go fucking play them right now. Go play them right now.
Haven't, you're genuinely missing out on one of the most creative and entertaining puzzle games ever made. At its core, it's a first-person puzzle platformer, but there's really nothing else quite like it. The original Portal was already brilliant, but Portal 2 takes that foundation and builds on it in every way. The puzzles are bigger, the story goes deeper, and the whole presentation is sharper. It's a sequel that doesn't just repeat the same ideas, it actually justifies itself as something new and essential.
Oh, it takes everything from 1 and just builds on it like a madman. Because, I mean, like, let's just be real here. 1 was, like, only 3 hours long. It might as well have been just, like, a tech demo. But it was, like, it was a really good game. It's probably the tightest 3 hours that you will ever play in video game history. Deadly serious.
The characters are a big reason why. GLaDOS was already iconic, but here her role expands in really surprising ways that add depth to her beyond just being a sarcastic evil AI. And then you got Wheatley, who's instantly just as memorable. Between the two of them, you get some of the funniest, sharpest writing in any video game.
Let there be light. That's, God. He's quoting God.
And the voice acting completely nails it. I couldn't even tell you which one of them is more entertaining because they're both perfect in their own ways. But it's not just the writing, the actual puzzles are so well designed. Every chamber is satisfying to solve, hitting that perfect balance between I feel smart for figuring this out and I can actually pull this off without fighting the controls. That's a rare thing for puzzle games because so often there's that